Aí, ó. Requisitos mínimos para jogar código do Warzone, o mobile, né? O Snapdragon 730, o Risilicon Kirin 1000, MediaTek Helio G98 e o Exynos 2100 com 4 GB de RAM. Para jogar, como é? Mas lembrando que esses requisitos são para rodar o jogo no perfil gráfico baixo a 30 FPS. Eu só 30 FPS nessa merda? E o iPhone também é o A10 Fusion.
Ai, quem foi?
O cara aqui, ó. Já apareceu ele. Então, salve, salve, rapaziada. Boa tarde. Pra quem não conhece aqui, eu sou Caio. Sejam todos aqui bem-vindos a mais um livezinho aqui do canal J Gamer. E hoje vamos conferir finalmente o Warzone 2, cambada. Finalmente, né? Pra quem não sabe, hoje vai ter a gameplay do MW2, do Warzone e o Warzone Mobile. Eu vou tirar aqui. Beleza? Pra quem não sabe, vai estar aparecendo esses aí, que é o que eu mais estou aguardando. Se eu não me engano, vai ter outro anunciamento de uma parada do código aí, que eu tenho que ver direitinho aí, né? Que achei vai ser uma porcaria, mas bora, né? Então tem 117 mil pessoas aqui aguardando o jogo flopado, né? Então, bora aí, daqui a pouco eles estão começando. Lembrando que é de 1h30, falta 2 minutinhos aqui para começar.
Pera aí, requisito
Beleza?
mínimo
Até o mínimo aí. Espera aí.
o Exynos 2100.
É. Isso é 2100 esse Exxon aí? Caralho.
Requisito mínimo, porra.
Então, pessoal, não se esquece não, pra quem for chegando aí, deixa aquele likezão, compartilha a live aí pra dar aquela forcinha aqui ao canal, beleza? Se você quiser nos ajudar financeiramente, você pode estar fazendo aqui pelo Pixel, pelo Superchat e sendo aqui um membro do canal. Isso é uma forma de nos ajudar aqui financeiramente, então, pra quem puder, seja membro aí, dessa moral aqui a nós, beleza? Então, bora aguardando aqui, contagem regressiva, 1 minutinho pra começar, rapaziada. Então, bora que bora. Finalmente! Maldito do Warzone vai ser. Vou mostrar mais algumas coisas aí, né? E lembrando, rapaziada, que amanhã já começa o beta, hein? Amanhã, só que PlayStation já começa amanhã, né? Xbox a partir do dia 22. Olha, começar. Começar essa bagaça! Fala, invejoso! Porra, final. Ué? Porra, essa 29 minutos pra quê? Ixi, vai ser só 2 horas mesmo? É, falta mais meia hora, rapaziada. Só 2 horas.
Vai jogar.
Puxar um multiplayerzinho por enquanto.
Fecha o aplicativo do YouTube. Quando você for abrir o YouTube de novo pra não mostrar o que você tá fazendo, você bota na outra câmera. Ouviu?
Puxar um multiplayerzinho por enquanto não começa, né? Dá aquela esquentada para as novidades. Rapaz, eu acho que de umas coisas mais que eu tô aguardado aqui, cambada, é o Warzone Mobile, mano. Acho que de umas coisas que fiquei mais besta foi com esse anunciamento, né? Porque quem não sabe aí, pra mim, quem não sabe, eu jogo muito mobile aqui. Joguei muito, né? Que já faz um tempinhozinho mesmo aqui, eu parei por mais de um ano. E felizmente o mobile hoje em dia só tem porcaria. São jogos que só tá sendo lançado mesmo pra tá roubando dinheiro, em vez de focar num jogo realmente que preste. É só, principalmente esses jogos hoje em dia NFT, mano. Puta que pariu, isso é o que mais tá fudendo o mercado do mobile, mano. Tá uma merda. Aqueles tipos de jogo que é só up infinito. E farmando porra de minério, mano. Tá. Felizmente hoje o mobile atualmente tá uma porcaria. Se você quiser jogar mobile hoje é só MOBA e FPS, cara. Pra quem gosta, né? Que nem o FPS realmente do jogo tá prestando, mano. Como se diz o tipo o código mobile mesmo, eu não fica cara. Pra mim foi horrível aquele código mobile. Tem o Apex Legends, né? Que se eu não me engano tem muita gente reclamando que tá fora também, cheio de bug, queda de frame. Infelizmente o mobile atualmente tá uma porcaria, velho. Mas tá chegando o Rainbow Six, né? Que querendo ou não, o Rainbow Six é famoso pra caramba. Já, a turma já tá testando, só que o beta foi fechado. Uma coisa até foi. Eu achei que seria até aberto, mano, mas foi fechado o beta. Beta do Rainbow Six Mobile. Começou dia 12 agora. Sai daí, Lupe.
Muda o nome da área, bota mais gameplay.
Entrega aérea de emergência. Disponível. Vamos lá.
Tá aí doidinho, né, Lupa? Pra que eles cancelem, né? Eles adiem.
Quartel-general. Capture o quartel-general quando for ativado. Ataque aéreo de precisão aliado.
2 horas tá começando.
Desativando o QG. Eles estão avançando. Vamos lá. Se preparem, a gente vai sair logo.
E já é 1h30. Ah não, do COD é daqui a meia hora. Era tipo. Eles colocaram 1h30, mano, mas eles abriram agora do 1h30, mas colocaram às 2 horas. Daqui a pouco começa, rapaziada. Daqui a pouco, meia horazinha aí.
Ataque aéreo de precisão.
Vamos perto, não aí, bora acompanhar. O quê? Eu quero colocar, só que eu vou fazer um negócio aqui. Vazou no mobile, eu quero ver, dar uma conferida como é que vai estar. Eu espero que eles mostrem mais gameplay, né? Porra, cambara, 3 caras aí parados, olha Deus. A porra do gráfico lá que tá lá na loja lá não tá bonito não, mano, do jogo não. Sai fora, Lupe. Agouro da porra, mano. Nossa, mano, viu como é que tá os gráficos do Azone Mobile. Puta que pariu, mano. Verdança.
PG seguro.
Melhor época do Azone, mano.
10 segundos. Vai ficar fácil. Vamos para o próximo QG.
Esse maluco campera, viu?
Um reforço disponível.
Ah, o Lupito já tá na loja já, viu? O pré-registro, mano, do Azone. Não sei se tu já viu. Tá na loja já pra fazer o pré-registro.
Reforço para caminho. 10 segundos.
Caralho, o cara botou a cara já.
Bora! Bande inimigo acima. Inimigo capturou o QG. Ainda não terminou. Qual vai? Falta minuto. A gente tomou o QG.
Band quase sem combustível.
Se preparem, a gente vai ter.
No evento, cara.
Eu tava com fome quando tu falou, né?
Bande inimigo acima. Bande inimigo acima.
Poxa, já tem 132 mil pessoas aguardando. Ah, caralho.
Radar pessoal do inimigo acima. Tá seguindo alguém.
Só sei que play é poder. Ah!
Tinha segurado.
Ô? Não entendi. Não, pô, é o Azone Mobile, pô.
30 segundos. Estamos sem
Já. Playstore já tá no fazer o pré-registro já. Desde ontem. Tá ligado? Aí daqui a meia hora vai ser o evento do código que vai mostrar. Código Mobile, o MW2 e o Azone também. Vai ser agora. Eu tô transmitindo aqui pelo YouTube. Vai ser de 2 horas agora. Vai ter gameplay do MW2. Eu, J Gamer. Eu, J Gamer. Isso. Duas horas agora começa. Só ver lá, tô ao vivo. Agora. É, isso, tudo junto. O J é G-O-T-A mesmo, viu? J-O-T-A, pra botar só o J. Achou já? Pronto. Manda um salve aí que eu vejo aqui. E já começa amanhã já, Lupe. O beta do MW2, mano. Já começa amanhã. Tô vendo aqui, Ricardo. Salve, mano. Beleza. Tô vendo aí. Bem-vindo à livezinha, cara. Tamo junto aí. Amanhã já começa o beta do MW2, mas só pro Playstation, a partir de amanhã. Tá ligado? Aí no Xbox, dia 22 já começa. Agora só que dia 22 é só pra quem fez o pré-registro. Aí de graça mesmo, só a partir do dia 23. É aí que eu falo, né, Lupe? A exclusividade do Play, né, mano? Os caras vão jogar até a partir do dia 16, velho. O cara vai jogar uma semana antes. É louco, mano. Jogar o beta já amanhã. Quinze minutozinhos aí pra começar. Tem vazão pro meu 360. Lupe. Joga esse trem. Ô, Lupe, bota no museu, pô. É o Bill, é 360, já podendo jogar tudo no ONU. É frescar, é.
Vai jogar no Switch.
É, vai lançar a versão, né? Versão cagada. Já tem 136 mil aí esperando, Lupe, pra ver o jogo flopado, né? Porque antes era bom, agora é flop. Eu já vi cara falando, ah, mas ninguém liga pra campanha do COD, não. Puta que pariu. Ah, mano, cara de doido. Pistolinha aqui, viu? Opa, o cara matou. O maluco matou com peito na cara. processador vai ser bugado desse jogo, mano. Ô, louco. Olha isso. Ah, porra, Luke, joga desse jeito mesmo. E aí, João Paulo, boa tarde, mano. Beleza? É, daqui a meia hora, mas cadê? 12 minutos. Eles abriram a porra da live lá, mas botaram. Colocaram o tempo. Já 12 minutos começa. Mano, olha. Deixar esse presente aqui. Ô, você não morreu, hein, filhão? Catou bem, catou a dorzinha. Pra porra, mano.
Galera, foi bastante por hoje.
Eu sei que parece meio peculiar, mas eu posso explicar.
Ih, começou algumas putaria aqui. Deixa eu botar lá agora pra gente acompanhar, rapaziada. Bora que começaram a falar algumas merda aqui. Ah, que bando arrombado. Botou o cara pra falar. Quando eu volto ele bota o tempo, 9 minutos. Só vai aumentando, viu? 160 mil pessoas. Aumentando. Agora tem muita gente reclamando, falando da parada que eles vão tirar a questão do slide cancel do jogo, né? A galera tá meio que com o pé pra trás com isso daí. Tem gente que tá dando graças a Deus que tiraram. Uma cachorrada sobre essa parada aí, né? Uma coisa que, no caso, que influencia muito numa zona, né, cara? Essa pegada, né, dos slides. Resumindo, Ricardo, o evento aí, cara, é pra falar dos 3 COD, né? Que vai ser o MW2, que eles vão mostrar mais da campanha, tá ligado? Vai ter mais gameplay. Vou falar do Warzone, o que vai sair agora em novembro. E do Warzone Mobile, cara. Também vamos falar deles. Entendeu? Ainda vai ter outras paradinhas aí que vai rolar por fora aí, que eles, se eu não me engano, que eu vi a galera comentando. Mas eu não sei muito ao certo não. Mas o que interessa mesmo é essa questão, né, do MW2, da questão da campanha, que vai mostrar mais gameplay e tal. A galera tá ansioso. E o Warzone, né? Porque a rapaziada tá louca aí, né? Que é o hype, o Warzone 2. Tá ligado? E amanhã já começa o beta, cara. O beta amanhã já tá liberado já pra galera do PlayStation. Amanhã é pra quem fez a pré-venda no PlayStation. Aí depois, no outro dia, eles já liberam pra geral no PlayStation. Aí dia 22 no Xbox pra quem fez a pré-venda. Aí no dia 23 já libera pra geral. É basicamente isso aí, mano. Mais gameplay do MW2 e umas paradas dos Warzone, né? Tanto o que vai vir pro console, o Warzone 2 e o Warzone Mobile. Tava por fora do evento, cara? E provavelmente eles vão liberar as datas, né, velho? Que ninguém sabe qual é a data do Warzone Mobile, que ainda não explicou. Só falou que ia sair. Ninguém sabe ainda qual é a data exata, com certeza vão dizer hoje. E ele ontem ficou no pré-registro, né? Ontem já liberaram já na loja o pré-registro do Warzone Mobile. Eu até já fiz já ontem. Agora eu quero ver mais gameplay, mano. Gameplays atual do Warzone Mobile. Porque o que só tem no YouTube é as gameplays da galera testando o Alpha ainda, o pré-Alpha. Tá muito zoado ainda o gráfico e tal, tá ligado? Tô querendo ver uma gameplay dele atualmente já, 100%. Tá ligados? Com certeza ele deve mostrar hoje, né? Agora o Warzone 2, bora ver também uma gameplay, não sabe, né?
Vai começar, muda lá.
6 minutos.
Não, 6 minutos, fica lá já. Muda a tela aí, deixa
Falta 5 minutinhos aqui, rapaziada. Então já vou colocar lá. Pra gente já ir acompanhando, né?
fechasse o jogo. Deixa eu colocar aqui. Olha, já tá mostrando os pro play aí, swag aí, ó. Os caras lá.
I'm feeling good. I'm super
Os caras da
excited. This is
FaZe.
the first like Call of Duty
Like
event,
we all said, this is our first
testing
ever
wise
event,
that
so
I've been
this is
to.
really
So
new to us.
I'm hyped.
Really exciting. I don't know what to expect, but I'm just ready to play. You know what I mean?
O maluquinho ali,
favorite memories from the original
o
Modern
braço
Warfare 2
tatuado ali
that
é o
anyone wants to
swag.
share?
O Boya, acho que é o FaZe Boy esse
I
daí.
remember the first nuke I ever got was on the map Estate, and I was hyped. I was like
Esse maluco
13,
também, se não me engano, é da
13
FaZe,
years
mas
old.
não sei o nome.
Silence ACR going crazy.
I mean, I didn't play it either. I went back and played it, but it was already too late.
It can be a more recent memory. I'll tell you what though. All right.
Campaign boy. I was campaign. I played campaign. That's
E
okay.
essa rapaziada aí é a rapaziada pro, hein? Já profissional já do
What
COD.
do you expect out of a good campaign? So if you're a campaign guy, what do you look for?
I don't know. I just played it. The missions are fire, so I just want fire missions again. I ain't gonna lie. Wasn't that the one we had to crawl and be secretive and stuff like that too?
I always love the sniper missions where you
Yeah,
get
Easy
it
snipe
was really dope.
da FaZe
Love that. Well,
Clan
I'll tell
aí,
you
ó.
what, I'm not going to waste any more time. Go enjoy it. Get on the sticks, and we'll catch up with you later to see how you feel about it. Thanks, guys.
E aí, mano, você quer ver maluco brabo aí, esses malucos jogando aí, cara. É tudo maluco do controlão, viu? A turma tanto bota pra trás e é tudo controlão. Aí, 4 minutinhos.
Por acaso, na hora que abriu, ficar com aquele quadradinho aqui no espaço, mas do jeito que tava aí agora. Aí tu distante cabeado da câmera e da frente do
quê?
Estamos escanteados.
Lá no OBS.
A câmera aí da moldura. Agora não, só se precisar. E aí você destranca, seleciona tudo e arrasta tudo lá pra cima. Se for pra lá, entendeu? Porque do jeito que tava aí mostrando, tava tipo um quadradinho. Outra coisa eu faço.
E outra, rapaziada, pra quem for jogar o beta, vai liberar umas paradinhas, viu? Vai liberar umas paradinhas no game, skin,
Alright, well, we get to
skin
see
de arma,
multiplayer and
a William,
Warzone 2.0. What are you expecting? What are your big
outro
expectations
prozinho aí,
from this new iteration of
outro
Warzone?
Zezinho VPN.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see the map. With Caldera, there was a lot of like elevation, and I liked in Verdansk how it was like a lot of buildings. So I'm hoping to see a lot of like buildings for like building fights because I'm a close
Vai
range player.
chamar a
So
galerinha aí
that's what
conhecida,
I'm
né?
looking forward to.
Será que vai algum brasileiro aí? Mas por enquanto só apareceu a rapaziada da gringa, né? Pelo bicho, eu acho que não chamaram não nenhuma rapaziada aqui do Brasil não, né? E tu, Lupe, já pegasse não teu código não? Duvido, nem tu vai comprar o teu God of War, né? Vai deixar de comprar o código pra comprar o God of War Ragnarok. Bora, 2 minutinhos. Aí sim, igual eu tava falando pra vocês aí, a parada do beta, se eu não me engano, vai até o nível 30. Você vai desbloquear umas paradinhas, você vai ter skin pra arma. Tem umas paradinhas que eles liberaram uma fotozinha mostrando que é que ia vir. É coisa besta, tá ligado? Agora as skins é tipo na cor do MW. As skins verde lá com preto, bacaninha pra caramba. E se eu não me engano, o que você comprou na versão mais cara, que é skin de arma, skin de personagem, já vai poder ser usado no beta já, tá ligado? Você não vai ter que esperar o game sair por completo para poder jogar não, para poder usar, né? Já a partir do beta você já vai poder utilizar já. Mas basicamente eu não vi muito futuro não, cara, pegar aquela versão mais cara não, porque o que tinha de bom lá, que era as skins do Ghost, até onde eu sei não vai migrar pro Warzone 2 não. Negócio sem futuro do caramba, pagar quase 100 conto a mais, com essa skin que daqui a 3 meses ninguém vai mais usar. Negócio desnecessário. Se fosse pro Warzone 2, é uma coisa que vale a pena, lógico, né? Agora era 12 skins, cara. 12 skins do Ghost e 10 skins de arma da M4. Mas sem futuro pra ficar nesse Warzone. Aí. Bora. Começou, né?
We're a team.
Price.
All of us. Let's go get him.
Esse já é o mobile. Warzone mobile.
These guys on the ground, they are your brothers now.
Yes, sir.
É pra melhorar a imagem aqui.
Hello, everyone, and
Já vai no macho?
welcome to Call of Duty. The Call of Duty
Tá em HD.
Max.
Tá
I am Joanna
720.
Ferris, the general manager of Call of Duty, and I am thrilled to help kick off A truly significant moment, not only for the highly anticipated
Só no
upcoming
trailer.
release of Modern Warfare
Apareceu
2,
uns tiquinhos ali.
but a very significant moment for the future of the entire Call of Duty
E o
franchise.
gráfico, e o
You
gráfico
see, over the last
tá
several years,
nessas
we've
coisas meio
experienced
não, viu?
explosive and dynamic growth,
Tá
and
bem
we've learned a
zoadinho o
ton
gráfico.
along the way. And those learnings have fueled our ambition to deliver a wholly new, elevated player experience. One focused, of course, on delivering more fun and innovation, but also state-of-the-art tech advancements built to support a more connected Call of Duty community than ever before. So just know that what we shared today across Modern Warfare 2, our brand new Warzone 2.0 experience coming later this fall, and our designs to bring Warzone to mobile for players on the go are all certainly big news. But it's just the first chapter of a very bold, long-term vision that we carry to take Call of Duty to even higher heights in the years to come. Ultimately, though, we know that you, our players and fans around the world, will be the judge of all that. And it's why we are thrilled to be doing this on the eve of our Modern Warfare 2 beta, and to be here live in person with more than 200 of the
rapaziada
biggest
jogando ali, vai
streamers
jogar
and
ao
creators
vivo.
in all of
Porra,
gaming.
cara pra caralho,
They will
computador, mano.
finally get their hands on the
Ja,
true star
porra.
of the show, the gameplay itself. So let's get right into it. It is my esteemed pleasure to introduce, alongside me, Patrick Kelly, co-studio head of Infinity
Cara
Ward
pra
and the
porra, hein,
executive
velho.
creative director of
Computador ali
Call
ao
of
redor,
Duty.
hein.
Pat,
Acho que ela vai
welcome.
vir jogar
Thank you,
multiplayer junto aí.
Johanna. It's so
Bota uma
exciting to be
legenda?
here with all of you. It's been such a journey to get to
Tem?
this place. You know,
Tem não, Lucas.
on the franchise, I always get asked by people, or regularly get asked by people,
Ah, não sei se
what
tá
are the
vendo,
areas
não.
you focused on improving, or what are the areas you innovated on? We worked on
Legenda
improving and innovating on
indisponível,
every
Lucas.
area of the game.
Não sabe falar
I-
inglês, pô?
It
É
always
nisso
comes
que
back
dá.
to gameplay. Gameplay is king. I could go on and on.
Foi um curso online aí
Things like third
rapidinho aí,
person.
entra.
Things like where we've innovated in the space of Battle Royale. We've got an all-new mode in DMZ that has large player counts along with massive player counts of AI.
Vagabundo, vagabundo, nem
And
pra
it
botar uma
goes
legenda,
on
né,
and on and
cara?
on. We've got mobile
que
connected
pariu.
with progression and everything else across all of the games. And it just goes on and on. But you know what? It all comes back to one thing. It comes back to fun. Everything we do is in the service of fun. Whether you're a hardcore player or a casual player, whether you are somebody who
E
likes
esse
to
vai
play
aprender.
with your
Começou
friends or
agora,
you
cara.
like to play alone.
Não mostrou nada não.
Wherever you play it, be it on console or PC or mobile.
Pois é, velho, blá blá blá. Uma coisa que eu não quero ver é blá blá blá. Eu quero ver gameplay e bala.
We've tried to think about fun for you. And hopefully today you're going to see that and play that. And fun is what you come away with.
Absolutely. You know, fun is definitely what we're going to be heavily focused on.
Xbox.
And I'm particularly excited about some of the social features that are coming as part of this launch. Things like proximity chat, a new gulag twist. There's definitely going to be instances where players will interact not only with their own squads, but may even have to work together with other players in
menino
unexpected
lindo.
and pretty fresh ways.
Aí,
We've already
aí,
seen some
pô.
hilarious interactions, in fact, during play
Olha
sessions.
o cara de
And I
yoga
can't
ali
wait to see how
dentro,
these
mano.
new ways to
Porra,
connect
é,
evolve over time. Now, Pat, what can you tell us about weapons?
É,
Oh,
pior que é,
wow.
né? Mas as cores dela, né? O
So,
verdezinho
We've
do Xbox.
completely innovated in the area of connecting you, the player, to your instance in the game, making you feel more in the game. And I guess you can think about it as starting out with
Fora que esses
the
caras
camera.
enrolam, né,
The
mano? É
camera
blá blá
represents
blá,
your
né, velho?
eyes, right? So connecting the camera to your body. We've done that with some inverse kinematics and some physics and other things like that. We've connected then the
O
body
que eu tô achando
to the
incrível,
hands on
mano,
the
que não
gun.
chamaram ninguém aqui do
Again,
Brasil pra ir lá,
with some
os caras que
sophisticated,
jogador aqui.
inverse
E apareceu
kinematics. We've connected
uns
the
stream aí
gun
do código lá de
with the
fora aí.
actual bullets coming out of it. So now,
Uns
when,
os
wherever
profissional,
that
né?
gun is pointed,
Chamaram
however
ninguém
it's
do Brasil.
pointed, the bullets are coming out of it exactly from the barrel. There's no disconnect there. And that's before I even get into what we've done with the new gunsmithing and how you build your
passar da
weapons
tia,
and the
né?
platforms, etc. But look, you're going to play it, and I hope
fora
you love it
também,
like
Bi.
we do.
All right, well, we've taken up enough time, but before they kick us off the stage, can we tell them about raids?
Yes, thank you. So with the beginning of Modern Warfare 2, and then shortly after that, Warzone 2.0, and then very shortly after that, for the first time ever, we're going to release a raid in Call of Duty. It's a very different kind of gameplay. It's very intense. We think it's very fun. And we're super excited about it. And by the way, there's one other thing I want to talk about for all
É, essa,
you
até a
hardcore
mulher
players out there.
tá de
I
verde,
heard so
mano.
many of you
Calça
talk
verde,
about
camisa
what
branca.
play
Ela
challenges can
já,
you give us beyond
já
just winning.
consegui puxando o
which,
saco do Xbox
anyway, I
no
won't go off
Xbox,
on
todo
that, but
verde e
we've
branco.
got a
Não
whole
me
series
demita.
of quests and gameplay
Não me
challenges
demita
that
pela
occur when
merda
you
que estão
actually
fazendo com
win
o
in
COD.
Warzone, or you hit different milestones that you'll have an opportunity
Eu acho que
to
os
do.
caras estão
And
fazendo
believe me when
live,
I
mano,
say,
daí mesmo do
everyone
evento.
in the
Acho que tá ali
match will
sentado
know when
fazendo
you're on
live. Ó.
them, and if you prevail at them. So look forward to that.
É foda, mano. E é bonito, né, cara? Tudo verdizão, né, mano? Foda, mano.
Before we kick it over to
Já tá
Miles and
foda
team
mesmo o
to
cenário
carry
aí,
the
cara.
day, we are extremely excited
Tudo
to give
preto com
you
verde.
the
Foda.
world premiere of the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer trailer.
Aí, outro
Thanks
premiere.
again and enjoy the show.
Ora!
We got intel reports of Hassan and the cartel forming terrorist cells all over the globe.
Massa, a gente fez isso aqui também, cara. Botou o quarto todo cinza, mas misericórdia, mano. Era passar aqui dentro, mano. A gente botou de volta branco. Não deu certo, não. Calor da porra.
The world is a vampire.
Oxe, ficou tudo preto. Agora que porra é essa? É jogo novo, mano. O MW2 que vai sair agora, mês que vem. Olha o radarzinho, mano. Olha o radarzinho dos campers, mano. Tá, porra. Cadê as sniper aí? Cadê os sniper aí? Puf. Aí, ó. É, mostrando o PlayStation. Olha o Javelin na mão, aí. Eu nunca vi esse radar não, Lupe. Nunca fui usar esse radarzinho não, mano. Isso aí é radarzinho de quem joga parado, mano. Quem joga rushão não usa essa porcaria não. Usa uma coisa que ajuda. Isso aí é mais atrapalha do que tudo. Parar pra estar olhando essa porcaria. Call of Duty é foda. Para, não tem como não. Olha, um drone kamikaze. Aí a customização. Deu H. As finalizações. Nossa, botaram uma Ghost mulher, mano. Não é nada. É sério, mano. Botaram uma Ghost mulher. Qual é a história dessa aí? Porque a história do Ghost, mano, ele é praticamente um psicopata, o cara. Poderia terminar Only Force Box, né? É, mano, quem dera. Daqui uns anos, né? Daqui uns anos, né? Joga só no Xbox.
The world is a vampire.
Caiu machista. Ah, mano, não vem com essa putaria pra cima do COD não, que pelo amor de Deus, né, mãe? Juggernaut. Tá aparecendo a mesma merda de novo? É.
You're gonna be okay.
Hostage secure.
Decoy! Gotcha.
Airstrike. Do not let them cross the border.
Take him out.
Não, Jô, tá muito bom nessa posição. Tão fresco.
Get ready, team. We have never seen a war zone
Vou
like
falar que
this.
ia botar, não vai plantar alguma coisa.
They're behind us. Shots stick out. Enemy healer.
Até hoje não sei como vim parar nesse canal. Aí quando o Pro Play tá jogando o código aqui, pro YouTube manda pra muita gente. Olha as 12 quebradas, as 12 bucadas desse inferno. A raiva dessa arma, mano, na moral. É uma arma, é a única arma que funciona realmente no COD, né, velho? Porque é uma arma que é pra de perto e derruba. Você pega uma sniper que é pra de longe e não derruba, né? Vai entender a porra do jogo, né? Meu parceiro, ainda tá nessa, vai vender. Pro Play joga com controle e mouse. No teclado e mouse? Meu Deus, tá aí por fora aí da galera que joga no controlão, mano. Agora o cara tá em cima.
Excited to truly be here with a few of the members of the Infinity Ward team who are bringing Modern Warfare 2 to life. Guys, we have 200 of our friends behind us who are going to be playing and streaming shortly, but before that, we also have Stephanie Snowden, Director of Communications for Infinity Ward, as well as Joe Seeger over the there, Jeff Smith, Multiplayer Design Directors here at Infinity Ward. Guys, first off, how are things evolving from Modern Warfare 2019? I mean, let's start high level, because there's a lot to get through today, guys. You saw that trailer. Let's go with the philosophy, Steph. Let's stay high level. What went into the creation of the game?
You said it precisely. There is so much. This game has just so much content. It's got something for everyone, and it's really been the result of 3 years of hard work at IW and our partners across all of the Activision studios. And so much of that work started with you guys at home, the community, the fans, our creators here, and that conversation and feedback from 2019 is really been a core piece of what Modern Warfare 2 is. And it's a dialogue that we hope to, continue, especially here today. Well, we've got so much in store with this MP experience, and people like Jeff and Joe here, who I am honored to work with, and their experience on this franchise. We're in good hands.
Indeed. Okay, so Jeff, well, I don't know where to start anymore. Let's set up what Modern Warfare 2
o PC tá falando da rapaziada, é da gente com certeza. Quando nós chegar lá em cima fazer sorteio pra rapaziada, você se sobra de dúvida.
Sure, I mean, when you come into making a sequel, it can be kind of tricky. What do you keep from the previous game? What do you get rid of? And where can you add new things in and not mess up this kind of nicely balanced ecosystem that we had? And so we came up with a few methods. One of them being player behaviors. And I say behaviors,
Eu falando dos outros canais, né? Você vê
playstyles. I think a lot of people will say playstyles, but that can kind of change during a match. But behaviors are more ingrained in how players play. And we just put them into 3 big groups. We call them rushers, which are just aggressive players. They just want to find the action and go. And then we have sentinels. And these are defensive players. They want to just kind of hold down a building, maybe keep a overwatch. And then we have stalkers, which are reactive, and they kind of hang back and try to read the field and read where spawns are. And really, we just kind of use these as filters to keep us honest with the content that we're making. So they're making enough toys and equipment for players to be successful playing our game.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Stephanie,
que foi, rapaz? Tá aí. Lupe tá te mandando mensagem aí pra tu falar essas coisas.
Oh boy, there are a ton of new features to dive into with this game.
Tá aparecendo o Lupe falando aí. Lupe tá te mandando mensagem aí. Fala, xinga aqui disso aqui dele.
With Modern Warfare 2, and it's been really amazing for me to come on board this past year and see these innovations coming to life, to hear Jeff jump into, breaking down the 1v1. And personally for me, our water, I've seen the memes, we love water. It's really hard to make in games.
É só uma lap.
But the aquatic combat, some of the things you're able to do with vehicles in the water, I think
that
that level of immersion is really going to speak to fans and has been something that I've really enjoyed playing last couple
Dia
months.
16 agora, amanhã, no PlayStation, e o Xbox só começa dia 22.
Can we go into some details about our
water-based velho, a parceria, né, da Sony com a Activision, né?
We really wanted to add water,
por
and
enquanto,
we knew we didn't have time, right? So in Verdansk, we froze the rivers and we made the outskirts
dia vai
just to kill
acabar.
trigger. In this game, as soon as we started Modern Warfare 2, we leaned into water, both visually, beautiful caustics, there's waves,
Também
there's
quero
white
Pix.
caps.
Fala o
But we also,
seguinte,
the
manda
gameplay
20, eu te
side,
mando
there's
10.
unique ballistics underwater. You only can use certain weapons underwater. Your
Dá
pistol
20
is
aí,
your
eu mando
weapon
10.
underwater. Otherwise, you
É,
can't
tem
use
essa
primary
paradinha agora
weapons.
também, né? Você vai
But it's also
poder...
a
Vai
nice cover
ter
or evasion mechanic. If you're getting
negócio
shot
você
at, you can dive into the
interagir na água,
water,
né? Você
and
mergulhar
as you
essas
get
paradas.
deeper, it gets murkier. Like the farther you are
Vai ter
from
isso aí.
something, you can't see it. And so it's been super fun for us to dig into water and really flex on what water could be
Parece
in Call
também.
of Duty. And you saw the
Não
boats
sei
and
se
the
mais
mine
que no
that
Azul,
floats.
né?
And every piece of equipment, has
I
been
love it.
filtered. Like, how does it work through water?
Nossa,
we had to
dizem
look at
que eu vi
everything in
quanto
the
mais
game and
tempo
say, how does
melhor,
it work
então
in
caiu
water?
ao
What's the
contrário.
best version?
Our vehicles will just slowly submerge
Yeah.
as they would instead of blinking out.
Yeah, everything.
A lot of details.
The behaviors are awesome.
Engraçado que o
Oh
Lupe
my God,
fala
I
tudo
cannot
até hoje
wait
não
to,
baixou pra
can't wait
apanhar.
to literally, dip my toes into those waters. But guys, let's not forget about the ground and the air. Like, I mean, what else is going to be coming to the movement system? Joe, what do we got?
Well, last game we did mount, and we had slide, and even though we're a military shooter, fluid movement is super important to us. So this game, you saw in the trailer, you can see here on the video, we have a new ledge hang mechanic, and that's essentially a high mantle. But instead of doing a high mantle and throwing yourself up over into combat, you can now peek. If you have a pistol,
Não,
you
veja a
can pull
galera
that
zoando
pistol
de
out
volta.
and use that.
Esse
We
zoa
also added the dive.
ele é
Last game
ban
we
na
had the
hora.
slide that kept your gun up, but we really wanted players to have an option where if they're getting shot at, they don't know where they're getting shot at, they can get down, get out of fire.
Sabe por que
The
ele
other
joga
really
jogo
cool
de
thing is the
bichinho?
dive's just high enough to let you get through a window. And so if you throw a grenade up into a building's second story, often you'll see players, like rats leaving a ship, diving out through the windows. And it's just another option for players in combat.
Yeah, in all of these dynamic
Isso é
movements
melhor.
mean you can interact with vehicles specifically in a very cool way. I'm gonna save some of that gas for when we get to Warzone 2.0, but it's really exciting.
Essa é a mesma game tag que você vai aprender.
Come.
Ainda
But now,
vídeo,
guys, let's
cara.
talk about equipment. Obviously, Call of Duty, crazy sandbox, a lot of cool toys to
É
play
por isso
with.
que,
Joe, what are some of
por
the
isso que
new
o Jota,
dynamite
ele é
rounds
o
that we're going to be
bot
throwing
do
at each other
canal e eu
and
sou o
flipping
pro
and
player do
using all
canal.
sorts in the next game?
I mean, you saw some cool stuff in the trailer. You
Não
saw
quero
the
gastar meu
Joe Sarge, you
download,
saw
é
the
nessa
shock stick.
porra.
One of the other cool ones you saw is the inflatable decoy. And this is a mine that you can throw out, and it basically sits there, and if a player gets close to it, it auto-deploys, and basically inflates like a
Qual foi esse
car
cara
airbag
brotou,
going
fez
off.
da mina?
And it
Já
faces the
aquilo.
person that triggered it, and so it's a great distraction technique. You can also fire it off with a clacker if you want to control
Lupe,
when
esse
it goes
louco aí,
off.
esse
You can
sonista
throw it
aí,
in
ó.
water, and here you just
Sonista
saw
embutido.
the DDoS. We added all this equipment into this game, and the DDoS is our kind of answer of like, hey, I'm going to breach this building. I want to go clean house, but I don't want to deal with all the shit inside. So I'm going to hit the DDoS. Boom, it's going to shut down
Perfect
everything.
for
And I can
rushing.
move in, and clear that room. You saw the heartbeat sensor is back. It's got a new look, but it also has a battery as a balancing mechanic, so you can't use it indefinitely in Warzone. And there's so
This is
much
the
more.
TAC cam too, which
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
just saw, which to me is a personal favorite.
You can put out a lot of them, and
Yeah.
even you can patch into your teammates. So you can. It
Falou,
gets
só
really
aprendi.
cool.
Yeah,
Falou,
kind of like
mano,
a
bora lá,
sticky
cara.
GoPro, but will actually mark your enemies for your team.
Yeah.
So it's I expect to see a lot of fun
There's so
moments
many,
with that today.
so many toys and new tools that we just want players to get in and play with. I think there's something like 13 filled
Falou,
upgrades,
cara, até mais.
between Warzone and Core MP, and it's pretty awesome.
Oh my God. Until they all get DDoS. Ha, ha, ha. All this talk about equipment, it reminds me, I mean, that's one element to look at now, but we've also got Gunsmith, brand new Gunsmith. Guys, what can you tell me about it, and how will it change the way that we level our weapons and manage them? I mean, what's going on there?
Yeah, so the new Gunsmith allows players to build out their weapons more smoothly than
Vou
ever
mostrar mesmo
before.
coisa
We
do
put out some
jogo.
videos yesterday
rolar
for the
bastante
Intel
no
drop.
MW
I
aí,
hope
mostrando
people dig into those if you
porcaria.
want a better look at Gunsmith 2.0. But we're really looking at unprecedented opportunities for weapon customization. And the new weapon platforming will actually allow players to unlock universal attachments through cross-progression. So we saw a lot of really positive feedback from the community yesterday. This is sort of intended
Oh, yeah?
to, decrease the grind. You're no longer unlocking every single
Se eu não
attachment
me
for
engano, vai
every
ser
single
8
weapon.
slots,
There
né?
will be some
Pra
shared
colocar.
attachments through progression. And I'm really excited
Caramba,
to
tá
see the
bem
streamers and the content
mais
creators
bacana que o
jump
outro,
into
viu?
this today.
Do
I know we all love the gun bench from 2019, so it's exciting.
This does sound amazing. So we've been hearing a little bit about weapon platforms and shared attachments. This is very, very cool stuff. Can you dive into those details, though, Joe? I mean, what can we expect?
Yeah, I can add a little bit of what Stephanie said. We had this vision last game with Gunsmith. And we were like, okay, what if you could take an assault rifle and you could make it an SMG? And that was our driving kind of like motivator for that system. And we kind of hit that. You could take it functionally through attachments, but the weapon name wouldn't change, and we couldn't change the receiver. And really, that's the key thing this game is you can go into Gunsmith, you can set up an AK-47 assault rifle with a thermal optic, with a suppressor, with a grip. Then you can say, you know what, I want to change up the playstyle of this gun. You can swap out the receiver to the AK-74U, make it an SMG, but you can keep that optic, that suppressor, that grip, they all come with. And to what Stephanie said, we have shared attachments within these platforms. We have branching progression. You unlock those guns by playing with other guns. And then we have shared attachments across all guns. And it's all to hit this vision of I'm building up an arsenal of weapons and an arsenal of attachments. I'm sitting down to my gun bench, and I'm going to make the perfect weapon for me.
I think maybe the simplest way to think about it is a gun tree, and each time you hit a branch, that's a receiver, and they grow out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, we wanted to ground that in reality. Functionally, a receiver, is based in that, changing the weapon type. And I think it provides a really seamless experience for players looking to build out the perfect weapon for a multitude of play styles. So you're going to be able to jump into that platform and customize however you want for, situational combat. And you're actually going to see the FJX Cinder weapon vault in action today, which is the entirely unlocked platform one.
Essa aí é a
M4, the
versãozinha
Mic
8 da
4.
cara, viu?
And the weapon vault
Pra poder pegar essa
maintains
skin
its
da arma aí.
aesthetic properties
É
across
400 pila.
all corresponding attachments. So
450.
we've heard you talk about the Frankenprint. This is our answer. It's an extremely rare.
Caro pra
This is a
caramba,
huge,
mano.
project for our teams to design these, but it is the ultimate weapon blueprint. And even better, you can unlock the entire Cinder weapon vault with the Vault Edition of Modern Warfare 2. Available in beta.
Available in beta, so we can rock with that thing all weekend long. Okay, so Gunsmith looks incredible. Okay, I'm excited. I cannot wait to get into this one soon. Our streamers are going to get into this one soon as well. But first, guys, we need to hear about maps and modes. We've got our tools to play with, equipment, weapons, maps and modes, though. Let's get into this one. Let's get into the design team, the philosophy, I suppose, behind building out maps. I suppose, Jeff, this is for you.
Yeah, right from the start, we knew we wanted to build another big map, not only for Battle Royale, but also for this other mode that we've been working on for quite a long time.
I read about that on the internet.
Yes. But, when you lay out these big maps, it's kind of a collection of all these little POIs, these points of interest. And within each of these, we've really fine-tuned that they can play large-scale core modes like Ground War and a bunch of others really well. And so, stepping back from this large map and looking at how much open world sandboxy gameplay that we have, we looked back at our 6v6 maps and really tried to refine and make them a tighter experience to contrast all this big world, kind of exploratory gameplay. So the maps for 6v6, in comparison to the last game, are just a little bit more straightforward, a little bit more refined.
Mulher falando da porra da skin do pacote que é 450. Skin de arma, 450 pra pegar uma skin, vai se
A lot of visual variety, some colorful maps in there, and I think they feel really clean.
Guys, you're moving me in ways I didn't imagine to be moved today. Excellent stuff. I might. Hey, it's the first time here on air. We've got some of the maps that we are going to be seeing in MW2. Starting with one, we've got a real fun one here, guys. This is one of the aforementioned battle maps. Team, can you give me some details on Sarif Bay?
So Sarif Bay is this little fishing town in the south coast of our big map, and we picked this because it has such a great mix of gameplay. It's right on a harbor, so we get to show off all our boats and our new amphibious APC, and swimming, as we've already said. But what you get inside the town is really intense urban combat with all these tight little alleyways and all this great rooftop combat. And mixed with our ledge hang, you get these really cool parkour combat action happening.
Yeah, I love how you describe the rooftops there on this map specifically as like a separate ecosystem. You can kind of migrate that entire vertical.
You can go up there and just
pelo que eu vi mobile, o gráfico tá essas coisas não.
All right, well that looks fantastic, Jeff. Okay, so
yeah, Brito, já começou já, Brito.
What about some of the 6v6
já o evento já, cara, já tá rolando.
We have some footage of one of the new maps that we're going to be seeing today.
Já mostrou umas paradinhas do MW2. Aí agora eles estão enchendo linguiça aí pra mostrar mais coisa, cara.
is a
Já
little
tá rolando
street
já,
market in a historic section
Vai ver
in
5 minutos que
Mexico.
começou já o evento.
Our story behind this is, you know, the authorities have some intel that narcotics are being smuggled out of a warehouse, and they're going in trying to find and seize them. This map
Eu não sei,
plays
cara.
really
Não
fast,
sei que
a
hora
lot
acaba
of
não.
action right down that
Deve ser
center
por volta
lane.
de 1 hora e meia, eu acho.
The Mercado is a very dangerous neck of the
Pela
woods,
enrolação
so
que eles estão
watch
falando
out
aí,
when
que eles
you're
estão
playing in the beta. It plays
aí, né,
fast.
cara? Acho que é 1 hora de evento.
Cannot wait, really cannot wait. Looks fantastic, and again, interesting to see you know how that ties into campaign.
Porra, mas assim, mano, bomba não vai ser não, cara. Isso aí você pode ficar tranquilo, velho. Bomba foi o Vanguard, mas o MW2 é uma das franquias mais desejadas pela galera do código, mano, é o MW, pô. Que é essa guerra moderna, tá ligado?
Mode that you've alluded to, right? Let's talk
Aí,
Invasion.
nem de longe vai ser bomba,
Invasion
cara.
is
Até porque vai ser baseado nele o A Zone 2,
Big
né?
War TDM, or we affectionately call it.
Umas coisas que a galera tá tudo louca aí.
It's 20v20 players.
E finalmente vai sair aquela porcaria daquela integração lá do Vanguard, essa merda que a odiou.
And it's this high action mode. It's super fun, but it's also really chill. The announcer's not barking at you. He's not saying like, "Hey, get to B." You know, they're taking C. You can kind of play it how you want to play it. You sit up on a rooftop and snipe. You can grab a shotgun and go room clearing. If you push too far into the enemy's base, AI will come hunt you. But we've also been really conscious of where we put AI in multiplayer. We didn't put AI in kill streaks or anything like that because we don't want AI showing up in search and destroy. We don't want AI in domination. This mode, though, however, was built for AI, and it's a super fun mode. Can't wait for people to try it.
Kind of a funny aside, you know, we took the name Ground War from a playlist in MW2, and that was just large-scale TDM and DOM. And we kind of did the DOM in the last game, and now we're able to add kind of the sandbox TDM, and so we're kind of completing the cycle of that old playlist.
Yeah.
Well, this large-scale stuff looks amazing. This looks so awesome. And okay, so what about the new 6v6 modes? Let's keep dialing it in closer and closer. Steph, what have we got?
Yeah, so we also have 2 new 6v6 modes that you're going to be seeing here played today, and they will be in beta, in Prisoner Rescue.
Só que é aquele modo tipo proteção do VIP, né? Acho que é essa pegada, né?
So Prisoner Rescue is an attack and defend mode. It's a round-based mode. The defenders have 2 prisoners. They're kind of spread out, and they need to keep hold of them. The goal of the attackers is to get to those prisoners, pick them up, and carry them to exfil. When you pick them up, you enter what's called a wounded carry, where they're up on your shoulders and you can't use your primary weapons. Instead, you have to use a pistol if you brought it, or you're just stuck with fists. But the way that we give the attackers an advantage once they grab that prisoner is they get a radar sweep for their team, so they can call out where the defenders are. And the objective icon over the prisoner goes away as soon as they scoop them up. So now the defenders have to basically rotate back to the exfil and set up defensive positions. And it's this heart-pounding, adrenaline-pushing like mode once you grab that prisoner and try and get them out.
That hero run to the exfil is
definitely you know, big S&D energy in this mode, which resonates with me in my time in esports. So this is my personal favorite of the new ones, and also sort of the strategic revives that happen. There is a revive mechanic, and so you are able to pick up your teammates, and I've seen some pretty wild comebacks in our playtest so far.
It was a lot of fun. We got to play a tiny bit yesterday. It was amazing. Incredibly fun, and I know the community is going to love diving into it over the next week. Okay, I can hardly believe that there's actually a lot more content to get through, but there's one more thing I have to bring up. I have the honor of officially announcing that third-person view is finally coming to Modern Warfare 2. What are the details behind this one? We got a little teaser of it on stage from Patro, but what are the details?
Yeah, you saw a little hint of it in the trailer, too. It's been a pet project for us, right? We've always wanted to do third person, and while we're working on all this other stuff, we've been kind of lifting up and doing third person in each mode. And the cool thing is that it's a modifier on our game, right? We can just turn on third person. In the beta, we're playing it in hardpoint, but we want to try it post-launch in S&D. We want to try it in VR.
Você tá em terceira pessoa, e mira, ele volta para a primeira pessoa, né?
It handles tight spaces. There's a water camera. There's an interior camera. You can feel the weapon shake when you're firing it, and it's just we've put a lot of work into it. We're excited to give it a try.
Incredible. I can't wait to see what third person.
Ué, isso vai ser modo que vai ser assim, ou se você vai poder jogar durante qualquer parte, você colocar e escolher se quer em primeira e em terceira pessoa.
They're delivering a lot of new features for you guys to try out ahead of release. And I said we were going to be bold with this beta, and we are, but there's even more to come at launch. So this is just a taste.
How is this just a taste? How can there be even more? I mean,
we haven't even got to Warzone yet.
Okay. Okay, so what about this year's third mode?
So I'm happy to say that Special Ops will return as our third mode and will be focused on 2-player missions, asymmetrical and game design. So think 1 player on air
tinha só
support,
no
1
Battle
player
Royale do
on the
mobile esse
ground.
negócio.
And I think the OG fans will be really excited because we've looked at, you know, some of the iconic Modern Warfare missions like Overwatch and really tried to implement some of those themes into the design. So we'll be talking more about Special Ops in the months to come.
So you're saying I should be looking now for a Special Ops partner?
Sitting right next to you.
Yes, you are indeed. Well, I'm all set then, Stephanie. I do believe we have one more surprise for PlayStation players out there. What's that?
Indeed we do. Let's roll the clip.
É, né? Olha. Olha, skin do samurai.
É a do mobile?
Não sei, tá lembrando do mobile.
Eu tenho essa skin do mobile.
Empty-handed.
Olha a espada lá.
Não, é diferente.
Tá diferente, tá diferente. Ah, mano, essas paradas de arma branca, mano, no jogo é horrível, mano. Umas paradas bugadas do caramba, bicho.
Spear, stone, or arrow. These are merely tools. I am the one to fear.
É, skin da arma, da M4. Weapon Plus, viu? PO digital, PlayStation, né? Só pra PlayStation, pelo que tô vendo.
Fix your mic.
PlayStation players will receive
Só
an
PlayStation, é só pra
exclusive
quem é do
operator
PlayStation.
Oni as a warrior and gun for hire, descended from centuries-old samurai clan and torn between country and family, just like me. This is such an awesome-looking operator, guys. Oni is going to be playable on day 1 for all who pre-ordered through the PlayStation Store. Plus, he comes with a high-level weapon blueprint, playable in multiplayer and Warzone 2.0. Steph, badass.
Oni is awesome. I myself am a PlayStation player, and so I will be becoming Oni main day 1 for this game. It's been really awesome to see our narrative team building out his lore, really bringing this operator to life with the creation of his backstory, his motives, and I think the art team absolutely crushed it with this skin. He is so cool looking.
All right, so we keep talking about all the things that we have to look forward to, but we are missing quite a big one here. We're missing the start of the beta. So for anyone who wants to get an early first-hand look at Modern Warfare 2, and trust me, you definitely want to, it is immediately available around the corner for PlayStation players who pre-order any version. Early access
Isso aí que é foda, mano. O cara que é criador de conteúdo, cara, feito eu, tô fudido, né? Porque jogador do Xbox, uma semana depois, cara, que eu vou trazer o conteúdo do beta, depois de já tá jogando.
Worth noting that if you pre-order the Vault edition of Modern Warfare 2, you get to use the red Team 141 Operator Pack and the FJX Cinder weapon.
A pre-order que ganha as skins, essas skins tem que comprar a versão mais cara, de 450, ganha essas 4 skins do personagem e mais skin de arma aí.
Campaign a week early. All right, folks.
Na moral, mano.
Hope you enjoyed that first look at Modern
Campanha.
Warfare 2's multiplayer. Don't forget.
Pré-order digital, aqui é a pré-order, você já vai pro dia 20, né? Pra quem não sabe aí, você comprar a versão digital, você joga a campanha no dia 20, né? Uma semana, 8 dias antes do lançamento.
The world premiere of Warzone
Aí já é um adianto do caramba, né, cara?
Call of Duty next.
Porra de Play,
Mountain Dew, official drink of Modern
Mas isso é
Warfare 2.
foda, né, cara? Tem que comprar um Play pra poder
Little
jogar.
Caesars.
Mas eu comprar um Play só pra jogar o beta depois vender.
And Modern Warfare 2. HyperX, official peripheral partner of Call of Duty. Play like a pro on the big screen with 144Hz VRR and AMD FreeSync, now on TCL's 6 Series TVs. Prime Gaming. Visit gaming.amazon.com today and start claiming your free content.
We have 200 creators here on site, marching down the green carpet with one mission in mind: to be the first players to
Acho que
play
aí já é
Call
o
of Duty.
criador de conteúdo, né? Lá da gringa, do código.
There is so much in this game. There is almost too much.
This is like one of those days where I enter and my hopes are so high.
And what are you looking forward to most when it comes to Warzone 2?
Prisoner rescue.
I'm looking forward to using that inflatable soldier decoy to mess a lot of players.
Kill streaks, I think. I'm honestly here just to learn as much as I can to prep for Old Men of Optic, because those guys are very old now.
So maybe some OG maps coming back?
A map that everyone can play.
Honestly, give me a broken shotgun.
What's your favorite game mode and Mountain Dew flavor combo?
Search and destroy Code Red.
Capture the flag, Code Red.
If I'm going hard with the boys on a long night at S&D and I'm trying to get some nasty in-game comms, I'm drinking Baja Blast all night.
Terminal or high rise?
Easy terminal.
Ooh, terminal. Most people have
Olha,
terminal
bicho, que
nostalgia.
é isso, cara?
Terminal, 100%.
Esse coelhinho queima. Olha!
Strike. High rise. High rise.
Ah, mano, tá que pariu, velho. Que porra é essa, mano?
So it's still Code Red for me.
Honestly, I like the basic one, just Mountain Dew itself.
Dang, I was gonna pick Code Red too.
Can I get a second one?
All right.
Baja Blast.
Esse cara aí, eu me lembro desse
Starting
porra,
October
mano. Esse cara é
17th,
familiar.
unlock dual double XP, COD points, and also an exclusive Mountain Dew skin.
Os caras estão vendendo até refrigerantezinho na porra do evento. Vai se fuder, mano. Aí, ó, Zezinho VPN, Widen. Lançando os podres aqui no evento. Olha, Zezinho VPN, aquele ali, ó.
Welcome back to Call of Duty Next. The Mountain Dew green carpet. God, it was beautiful. A lot of fun people out there. Everyone having a good time, and some incredibly well-dressed people out there.
Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone 2.0.
Here we go. Welcome back to Call
Olha
of Duty
como vai
Next,
se
friends.
chamar,
We promised it was coming
2.0.
up, and now the wait is over.
É?
It's time to
Warzone
talk about
2.0,
Warzone
vai.
2.0. We got a glimpse of Warzone 2.0 in the multiplayer.
Acho que as gameplayzinhas aí, pô, no
trailer
Warzone.
earlier
Tem que
and it
ter,
does look
mano.
awesome. However, we need some true experts to help out. Back
Eu
at the
acho que
deck
esse que a
here, we
galera
have
aí
got
vão
Stephanie
testar,
Stoner,
mano.
Josie
Essa rapaziada que parece que
Jones,
deve jogar
Jack
tipo umas
O'Hara, game
partidazinhas do
director at
multiplayer, tá
Infinity
ligado?
Ward. Joe, how we feel? We
Depois
ready
eu
to party
testar o
here? I mean,
Warzone, né?
this is a
Acredito eu.
lot. We need to know everything. Warzone 2.0. Stephanie, the world cannot wait.
It feels crazy for me to be up here revealing Warzone 2.0. I ended up at IW as a fan of the game, and so this moment is absolutely bananas for me. But Warzone 2.0 is everything that we loved about the original Warzone, right? Where it's based on the same experience that we all had, that fun, all of those moments, and it's a return to shared tech across the universe for Modern Warfare 2, and that's going to create a really streamlined player experience. And I think the key innovations that we discussed for multiplayer, those all exist across Warzone 2.0 as well. So we're bringing it back. It's all connected. It's the same world, and I think the players are going to love it.
Oh my good God. Real excited about this one. Again, there's a lot in this one. Jack, where do we go from here?
So MW2 and Warzone 2 have been developed side by side since the beginning, right? Since we started down this road, and they're part of the same universe. Like Stephanie said, they share the same mechanics, the same weaponry, and even more than that. But the centerpiece of all this, of course, is the new map that we've been working on since 2020 with teams across the globe. It brings together our philosophies on map design, it brings together new technologies in order to do it, and lots of artwork to make it happen. And we've learned so much from players experiencing Verdansk and playing in Verdansk over the first few years of Warzone, and we're really excited for them to land in Al Mazrah with their squad. There's a wide variety of points of interest for players to explore in this map, and we're really looking forward to seeing everybody in them.
Well, here we go, a brand new map to explore and traverse. I cannot wait. Stephanie, let's take a look.
That's right, Miles. Welcome to Al Mazrah.
Oh, é o
This is
mapa?
our new map for
Já tinha
Warzone
vazado, né?
2.0. It is a really interesting mix of
Ih,
geography.
rapaz.
It is expansive desert settings with a mix of industrial areas, towns, a city,
Ah, a galera
and of
gritando lá
course
atrás,
water.
mostrando o
It
mapa.
looks way better on this screen than
Nossa,
it did on
mano,
Twitter.
muita coisa aberta aí, cara. Olha
But
essa
you're gonna
parte
find
daqui do
a
mapa,
lot
mano.
of really cool
Nossa
elevation,
senhora.
rocky peaks, caves, subterranean spaces. This map is
Oh,
beautiful,
louco.
and it's actually the biggest BR map that we've ever made. And I am so excited for all of our streamers here to jump into Al Mazrah later today.
It's huge. Look at the size of that thing. Okay, so that was a big picture, and it's a great way to see
Lembrando,
it
né?
from a sort of
Você
top-down layout. But
tem essas partes
let's
de
take a
água
better
aí,
look at
se eu
some
não me
of
engano,
these
você vai
points
poder
of
nadar,
interest.
né?
So when we
A
set out
galera lá
to
atrás
create these
gritando,
spaces,
Lupe,
the team
e
works
mostraram o
to make
mapa.
it feel like a real space, right? So that there's infrastructure
Fortress,
between
eu acho que isso aí é
all the
um
different what we call
mapazinho que
points
tinha.
of interest along the map. And if you're paying attention,
Aí
you might
mostrando
even
mesmo aí
see a
as
few
partes
that
do
seem
jogo,
pretty
mesmo,
familiar
cenário.
out there as well. And so as the team works through these, they're trying to find
Tá
some
massa,
variety
tá
of each,
bacana.
point
Tirando
of
aquele
interest to
mato lá
make
que
them,
tinha do
them
Caldeira.
something that the players will want to
Qualquer
drop in and
merda
get the
que vier,
particularity
é melhor do
of
que o
that single
Caldeira.
point of interest and find the place that they want to drop and where they want
Isso
to
era
play.
um mapa,
Whether
se eu não me
it be
engano,
a high
do
elevation
W.
observatory at the center of the map, whether it be the big city that's up the top right, and whether they want to explore that,
Ah, a
or
galera
whether they
gritando
want to
lá
work in
atrás.
some of our POIs where we have water intersecting with geometry here. So we have in this one.
Aeroporto lá.
Well, that looks familiar.
That does seem familiar. And there's a river system that goes through all of this. So you'll be able to catch in a boat and drive between the different POIs.
A galera
Here's one of
gritando.
our favorites, Sour Village, which is
That's my favorite.
colloquially called Sunken Town.
I mean, I love to swim, so you find me there.
Absolutely.
I'm curious what you guys think, Jack and Joe, on what the hot drop will be today, right? We've been talking about this the last couple of days. This is our first time seeing other people who are not us play
vai ser
Warzone 2.0,
foda,
and
mano. Na
so
moral,
I'm
mano.
just
Warzone
very
de
curious
puta
where you
que
think
pariu.
everyone's going to immediately drop today.
I
Foda,
think
velho.
some people are going to drop to Observatory just to go back to home, you know? Go
Yeah.
have some fun.
They're coming home.
It's always nice. You're moving through the map and you kind of hit a spot and you're like, wait
I've been here
I know
before.
what this is. You have all these flashbacks.
Hey, yeah, there's a lot of nuggets in there for some old
For
Modern
that
Warfare
reason,
fans.
yeah, I'll say Corey. I think that's gonna pop off.
I think people will land around the edge so they stay in as long as possible in this match. But
Smart.
We have some news for our edge of the map players coming up.
Ooh, all right, guys. Well, the map looks absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to watch our streamers here drop in early in an alpha build later on today. Okay, so moving on to the gameplay, we've got this beautiful space to play in. How do all of these multiplayer elements we've talked about a little bit earlier, how do they fit into Warzone 2.0?
And the super simple answer is all the stuff we talked about in multiplayer, the stuff you saw in the multiplayer trailer, that's all in
DMZ,
Warzone,
parce
right?
que
It's all
modo
integrated.
novo que vão-
So
que
that
vão
tactical
falar.
camera works in Warzone, that decoy mine works in Warzone. Like, it's all of it's been built from the ground up for both. The slide, the
Olha aí, ó.
dive, the
Você lá
water.
na água, você tipo, você
More
deita,
swimming.
Yeah.
sobe de novo, mete bala nos malucos.
This is a great taste of some of the water combat.
Agora essa é uma parada
I
de
can't wait to go
vantagem. Quem
full
tiver na
Captain
água aí,
Mil,
mano, vai se
Apocalypse now
fuder.
coming out of the water, knifing
Essa
people.
paradinha
I mean,
aí.
this just looks...
yeah, the rendering team made some work. So you come out, you're looking all wet.
Yeah.
See the caustics on the bottom.
Yep.
I'm not even sure what caustics are.
I
have no idea, but it sounds great and it looks incredible.
You can see the armored patrol boat coming by there with its two turrets. There's some cool stuff.
So I'm glad you brought up vehicles. Steph, you touched on vehicles a little bit earlier. What can we talk about? You know, we've seen boats, we've seen tanks, we've seen all sorts. Jack, what have we got?
So we've implemented a new physics and handling model for the vehicles. So some vehicles are heavier, some will slide more, have more traction or less traction. And as you're driving them around and you're encountering them and other squads are playing with them, you can choose to shoot off the tires to kind of impact their handling. You can have them, they react to explosive differently based on their weight. So if you're in a heavy armored 4x4 and get hit by an RPG, it's going to kind of bounce a little bit, but not quite take the hit as a small sedan. You can also choose with your squad to be rolling into a POI and somebody jumps out on the roof, somebody leans out the window, and suddenly you got yourself a lot of firepower driving into the POI. Of course, that vehicle needs to survive for quite some time in the map if you want to keep using it to go from point to point. And vehicles will run out of gas, or at least most of them will run out of gas, and then you can bring them to a gas station to fill them up. If your tire's been blown up, you can get out and repair it, or you can bring it to a gas station to get repaired as well. And of course, we've got water vehicles. We've got a small boat. We've got the boat that Joe mentioned with the turret at the front, turret at the back, so you can have that little moment cruising up the river with your whole squad ready to rumble. So yeah, there is so much love that's gone into these vehicles.
Forgot the coolest vehicle.
The coolest vehicle?
The massive helicopter that you can fly
big-
around. And it's a
big
moving
chopper.
platform with 3 doors. And you can move a whole squad through the map.
What?
Wreak havoc. It is so cool.
Oh my god.
I mean, the fact that you can lean out of the window,
Yep.
grab your teammates, pile in a vehicle, actually, engage in battle from the window, leaning out, shooting,
Unless
combat.
somebody blew off your door.
That won't.
That does complicate things, doesn't it?
PTSD from Joe killing me many times in our playtests.
Well, I hope the gas prices in Almaz are okay. I thought there's a lot going on in Warzone 2.0, and my head is quite frankly spinning. What other massive changes have we got in store? Because it feels like there's so much has changed. Is it still a gulag? Do we still have circles? Is it still gas? I know there are guns, but do we shoot them? What's happening?
What do you want to jump into first? Oh, Stephanie, go ahead. Go.
We've made some pretty sweeping changes, I think, to the high-level components of Warzone 2.0 to continue providing players with both a dynamic and rewarding VR experience. But Warzone 2.0, you're going to hear it over and over again today. It's about fun. This is about playing with your friends, having fun, friends new and old. Maybe you're making them in game. And I think one particular feature that I cannot wait to see the streamers engage with will be our prox chat.
Yes.
So it's coming. It will be in Warzone, and there's going to be some amazing clips. But I think Joe can tell us a little bit more about looting in Warzone 2.0. I'm listening to that.
The streamers love prox chat.
They're like, yes.
In looting in Warzone 2.0, we still have the humming crates. You know, you can still travel around and listen for those. We still have the loose loot on the ground. But we wanted to add a layer of learnability and logic to our looting, right? So if you're outside, if you're a little kid, you fall down, you hurt your knee, and your mom's going to go inside, go to the medicine cabinet and get you something to a Band-Aid, Neosporin, whatever. So that's our looting. If you need health items, you can hit a bathroom in a building and there'll be a medicine cabinet. You can open it up. If you want to get loadout items, there are these hidden caches throughout in between the POIs that are in ground. And you can memorize where they are because they're always there. So you can kind of start to develop these paths through the map of how you loot. And there's this logic applied to looting. You know, you can find toolboxes that have grenades and things in them. And you find these other crates that are kind of like, it's as if the military that occupied this space came through and dropped off military items. Those crates are always there. So you can always have this reliable layer to looting.
Incredible. This sounds really exciting. We go on a road trip through Al Mazrah, quite literally, like, have a route we plan, hit the gas station, gas up, pick up snacks, pick up ammo and all sorts. Okay, cool. So what about circle mechanics? I mean, this is obviously a huge component of the
the circle's been a staple of VR. It's been really hard to move away from it. So we kind of talked about what could we do to mix things up with the circle. So we've got this new mechanic where the circle can actually split, almost like a cell splits into 2, 3, or even 4 circles.
Você vai ser obrigado, tipo, a estar usando um rio, mano. Porque, ó, ele corta mesmo o mapa no meio.
In those circles, and at a certain point, you're like, okay, we've cleared out our circle, we think we're good, and then those circles merge, they come back together, and you know, you have this very directed fight of like, as the circle's moving, you're like gearing up in buildings, you're like, here we go, it's about to kick off, and as soon as those circles hit, you have that final fight. So it's another kind of like twist in the gameplay that we feel like is a cool world event that would happen. Like, oh, the circle's splitting, we need to do X.
Crazy. Get in the car, we're going now, go! All right, so apart from circle splitting, what about the Gulag? Is that still around? I mean, there's so much change, man. I mean, I'm ready for it, but Joe, what do we got?
The Gulag, you know, we've been experimenting with, we've tried some crazy things with the Gulag. But the current version of the Gulag that we have running right now, we're excited people to play, is you're not in there alone. You actually have this temporary alliance with another opponent in the map, and you guys, you have to work together.
É isso que eu falo, mano. Aí, os cabas falam pra caralho, aparece um negócio 10 segundos.
For that moment, it's like, all right, we need each
Vai
other.
se
Let's
fuder,
do this. You use the
porra.
proximity chat to talk to each other.
Tá
And the
que
other thing you're
pariu,
playing around
mano.
with is you may see a little bit of an AI presence in the Gulag. So you kind of have to be on your toes. If you're working with an enemy, there might be an AI here, you're picking up weapons. We're excited for people to try it and
yeah, we're going to get feedback
porra
today,
do
too.
jogo,
And like
caceta.
Joe said, we've been through some pretty wild iterations of the Gulag, which I will not reveal here, but there's a lot in store.
Yes, there certainly is a lot in store. Jack, I have heard of a new
Merda.
concept coming to
Essa porra
Warzone
fica assim, eu
2.0
saio desse
called
caralho
Stronghold.
transmitindo
That will
porra, nem pra tá
include
vendo
AI
caralho
that may
nenhum.
impact how players get their weapons, etc. Can you clue me into what that's all about and if it's even true?
É melhor ele pôr resumo de YouTubezinho aí, pronto. Melhor do que a porra do evento.
Inside Al Mazrah in BR. And the players can choose whether or not they want to engage with them and assault them to get cool rewards, including free loadout items, which is one of the new ways that we're adding for players to get their hands on their best weaponry. We've worked really hard to bringing AI at scale into Warzone 2, and you're going to encounter them in multiple modes in different ways. In BR specifically, they're in these strongholds, and if you get to a stronghold, you can find the location of a black site, which is going to have even cooler stuff in it, and you can fight your way from one to the next. But in other modes, you're going to find the AI occupying large portions of the map and just kind of protecting different POIs in different ways.
Unreal. Okay, so we've all heard the rumors that Warzone 2.0 is going to have some very, very interesting new modes. Would you care to confirm or deny Stephanie Snowden?
It's finally time. I have read about some new modes on the internet recently, but one of the most exciting things about Warzone 2.0 is confirmation that an all-new sandbox experience is coming at launch. I am happy to announce DMZ, Call of Duty's extraction mode, will arrive with Warzone 2.0 at launch later this year. I played DMZ for the very first time on my first day at IW, and to this day, playing it non-stop, the possibilities with this game mode blow my mind.
So DMZ.
Então você é tipo fosse um modo estratégico.
I'm not going to go into depth on it today because we do have to keep some stuff in reserve.
Se na hora que for, vou
we've
cagar.
created a rich sandbox where you can define your own win condition. You infiltrate Al-Mazrah, you accomplish your goals, and then you decide to extract when the time is right.
Aí, resumindo,
It is
rapaz,
played
esse,
across the whole
esse,
map,
esse
and the AI is
MW2 aí,
occupying large
rapaz,
sections of the
é
map, and they are
campanha
lethal
multiplayer.
opponents, and they
Saiu
do
a
command
Zone
your
2.
respect. You have to watch out for them. You have to
Tchau.
work with your team. They patrol areas, they occupy
70% a mais de
strongholds,
jogadores vão
and they'll
fazer isso, cara.
reinforce based on players' actions. And then, on top of all this, you can choose which mission
Ali
you want
é,
to accomplish, or
só
you
vai
can chase
servir
after
pra
a
upar
variety
arma,
of
pô. Pegou, vou
activities
sair
in
um
the world.
armazém, vale multiplayer,
And you can
upa,
play this
upou, pronto,
differently
tchau.
depending on your playstyle. You can go loud, like I always do. You can go quiet.
Eu acho que tem
Or
muita
you
gente
can
que vai
hunt other
continuar,
players
vai,
or
né? Mas só
avoid
que a
them entirely.
maior
Or you
parte
could
vai
just decide, hey, I'm
fazer
going to
isso, cara. O
explore the
ponto
secrets
tiver
of
que upar e
Al-Mazrah and see
vazar.
what's there.
Loot up, exfil. It's totally up to player choice there, and I'm really excited about the full
Parece que ele já
scale
sabe
of
disso,
what
eles já
we're
botaram o
delivering
valor
for
lá em
this
cima do
chapter.
código, né?
And we want players to have an amazing experience in
E botaram
Warzone
o preço lá em
2.0.
cima.
We've been listening to the conversations in the community, specifically around small maps, ricochet, anti-cheat, ranked play, and beyond. And trust me, although we're touching on some of the core updates to the overall Warzone 2.0 experience today, and mostly focusing on BR, there will be more news to share over the coming months. This is only the beginning for Warzone 2.0.
Okay, I need Warzone 2.0 and DMZ in my life ASAP. Stephanie, when?
Warzone 2.0 will be free to play
Warzone
for
2.0.
everyone on November 16th.
Eu já viu, beleza?
Of season 1
Ela
across
pronunciando
Modern
Warzone
Warfare 2.
2.0.
Mark your calendars,
Que porra é
that's
essa,
about
mano?
2 weeks after
Ela ri, né?
Warzone 2 launches. And we had 125 million players in the original Warzone, and I cannot wait to see all of you and hopefully more of you in Al-Mazrah for this experience.
And you will have a chance to see a Warzone 2 Battle Royale Alpha playtest happening right here behind us very, very soon.
Yeah, the streamers are hot to trot. They're raring to go. We will see all of you in Al-Mazrah on November 16th. But don't go anywhere just yet. Stick around, because when we come back, you'll see just what Warzone looks like when it's built up from the ground for mobile. You're not going to want to miss this, I promise. Then, after that, we have live gameplay coming at us with all of our friends set up across each and every Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. We've got Warzone 2.0, Battle Royale, we've got Warzone Mobile. It's all happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go too far.
Call of Duty next, brought to you by the GMC Hummer EV pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Intel, built for the next generation of gaming. Squad up sooner with Xfinity rewards. Get early access to Modern Warfare 2's open beta. Jack Links, squad up with Sasquatch. Jack Links is good with it. Eureka Ergonomic, leading designer in gaming furniture and proud partner of Modern Warfare 2.
Apareceu aqui agora aí, vai ser o quê? É o Battle Royale agora. Finalmente, porra! Demora do cacete pra aparecer. A minha mijinha, porque tá melhorada.
Não dá de Overwatch isso aí.
É, tá com a 2.0, né? Oxe, Verdansk? Aí é Verdansk, mano. Olha, tá bom.
Vai jogar.
Ah, essa parte aí, esse é o mapa lá de Verdansk, ó. Qual o nome? Eu esqueci o nome aí, é o estádio lá. Ai, Capitão Price, vai, Price! Ué, fora pra caralho. O Gulag aí. É o mobile, ó. Eu vi logo o mapa lá. A CG do mobile foi isso aí, ó. Eu vi logo o Verdansk, mano. Que porra é essa?
Jam-packed day we've had here so far.
Mobile,
We got
vamos
Warzone
falar.
2.0 and Modern Warfare 2 already good to go. But finally, we're hitting something new here. Coming into mobile, we got Warzone Mobile 2 here for you. It's me, Beef Mommy, and I couldn't be more excited to be here with none other than Chris Plummer. And Chris, what do you have for us today?
That's right. Today we are proud to introduce Call of Duty Warzone Mobile.
Yeah.
This is the real thing, and it's on your
É
phone.
minha
For the first time
Jogo
ever, you
muito.
can drop into Call of Duty
Nunca jogou na
Warzone
vida com
from
isso.
wherever life takes you.
É, o mobile.
Let me quickly point out the gameplay you're seeing
Pega
today
vendo
is
na
so
cara e
awesome.
empolgação.
It's only going to
Tá
get
ligado?
better. And for Warzone fans, you will recognize this drop sequence right away.
I mean, honestly, it just gives me so much nostalgia. But wait a minute, Chris.
Tá bonito,
Is
mano.
that
Tá bonito, tá
the
bonito. Tá
legendary
bonito.
Verdansk?
Tá bonito, viu?
You know, this is where
cara.
Warzone gameplay was born. And we're bringing the legendary Verdansk map to mobile for the very first
Ah,
time.
meu Deus, eu vou
And it's
jogar
from
pra
our
caralho.
distance. And these dense urban areas, they're just so much fun to play in. Wide open fields, ready for battle. And
Porra.
intimate, close quarters combat environments. There's so much variety in Verdansk.
Isso, né?
It's famous for good reason. Teaming with fan favorite
Bonnearde.
locations like Boneyard and Superstore.
Superstore, eita, aí a Superstore aí no...
Even
Isso aí era...
Well, I'm
Não se
getting
viu
classic
o mapa
Call of Duty
do...
Warzone flashbacks
dos pro
here.
play,
Can
mano.
you tell us more
Cara, isso
about the
aí se
gameplay?
fudia, que
Or,
só caía
you know
pro
what,
play
maybe just
nessa
give me
porra.
your phone real quick. Maybe I can see for myself. No?
You know, the team has a passion for delivering the most authentic Call of Duty experience possible for mobile devices. From the way you aim and move to the weapon handling and the control responsiveness, all these critical little details combined to make Call of Duty Warzone mobile feel best in class. We've made sure that the physics,
Vão ganhar
the
pouco dinheiro
feedback,
com
the
essa
sights
brincadeirinha
and
do
sounds,
mobile.
all
Olha,
those
olha.
essential little touches are smooth and accurate. It's about creating an experience that's so true to form, you can imagine feeling that dirt compressing under the soles of your boots with every move. Or imagine those tiny shockwaves of recoil moving through your entire body with every shot. In Warzone Mobile, these are the kind of details that we care about that make the combat feel airtight and authentic.
That makes me really emotional, Chris. And you know, it sounds like everyone's paying attention to detail, and it's finally paying off. Now, when I think of Call of Duty Warzone, I think about strategy.
Absolutely. There's a lot more going on than pure gunplay. For example, when you're out
Ah,
there
é?
exploring
Olha
the
os
map
caras
and evading
aí,
the
mano,
circle blocks,
mostrando.
you can try to
Aqueles
sneak up on
quatro
another
bocó
player
lá,
and
tem
pull
que
off
falando
a finishing
mineira.
move. It's like ultimate bragging
Vai, faz
rights.
finalizações?
And if you're feeling more strategic, you and your squad, they can complete contracts, use that cash at buy stations.
Caramba,
There's a
mano,
ton of
olha.
variety there,
Oi?
including lots of different abilities like bringing back a fallen squad mate. Now, that contract economy, it adds a ton of depth and strategy through risk and reward.
I really like that you brought that up, because if you're talking about risk and reward, I think about the kill streaks. I think about the gulag. Are they going to be there too?
Yes, everything you come to expect from Warzone, it's going to be there, especially kill streaks. This means you can deploy your big stick of choice like, you know, a precision airstrike. You might be able to wipe out an entire squad with it. So
Porra,
not
tá
so fortunate for
bonito,
them,
cara.
but they're
Porra.
not necessarily down for the count either, because we have the gulag. So here players can fight for a second chance. So when you go down, you get to fight one-on-one with another down player, and you can earn your way back into battle. This is how Warzone Mobile plays out on a truly massive scale,
Superstore,
unlike anything
mano.
we've ever played
Porra.
on mobile before. For this
Aí
reason,
era uma
we're pushing
bagunça do
way past the
caramba,
envelope
mano.
on
120
high player
players.
counts to make sure each match is jam-packed with our signature style of combat. So we are supporting up to 120 live players in the
É,
single
Lupe, esse é o mobile, Lupe.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say
120 player, mesma
120
coisa, mano,
players?
do
Or do you mean
o outro é
bots?
150.
Because it seems like in Battle Royale games on mobile, they're usually loaded up with boring bots.
Well, we believe it's critically important and a lot more fun to play with real, live, human opponents, and that's our focus. So for anyone who's tired of playing with nothing but bots, we hear you. We're talking up to 120 real players ready to hunt you down
Só quem
with
chama
real
pra saber
human
quantos
skill
bots tem na
and
partida?
real human emotions. That is Call of Duty Warzone Mobile.
And we hear you in the crowd. Everyone's excited, and absolutely it is huge. And I don't think there's a game on mobile that can top that, in terms of real player count, of course. But how are you able to even pull that off?
We can support real player counts at dramatically higher scale than we've ever seen in other Battle Royale games on mobile.
PC, console,
because Warzone Mobile is running on advanced, unified Call of Duty technology. This is the same shared tech behind the console and PC versions of Warzone 2.0. It gives us a ton of advantages, like these incredibly high player counts, authentic Call of Duty combat and gameplay systems, and it opens the door to a much more connected experience across all platforms.
So when you say more connected, does that mean that Warzone Mobile will share content and features that will be in the console and PC version of Warzone 2.0?
Exactly. Delivering a deeply connected experience has been a strategic pillar from the beginning of development. Now, we know that your time is precious, and your investment in playing is now recognized across Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2.0, and Warzone Mobile. So wherever you're playing Call of Duty, it is time well spent, including on mobile. Even your friends list and chat are shared across platforms, so you can stay in touch with your friends, whether they're playing on console or
Ah,
PC
tá,
or
tá. Ah,
mobile,
tipo
wherever
com a
they choose to
Activision,
play.
a conta da
I
Activision,
mean,
você
that is
pode...
so
Tô
exciting.
ligado,
I
entendi.
totally get that.
Ou tipo, você pode
Now,
pegar sua
one
conta
of the coolest
Activision e
benefits
logar
of
lá,
having
né?
this kind of
Mobile.
connectivity is that Call of Duty Warzone Mobile is loaded up with the same authentic Call of Duty weapons and operators you'll recognize from Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0. And whatever you get from the Battle Pass, you will see it on console or PC. It'll also be there on your mobile device too, and the other way around works as well.
Então, é isso que eu tô falando, você tá
I
contente,
really
né?
love to hear that. And as a matter of fact, I saw some of the same weapons and operators being shown earlier today in Call of Duty Warzone 2.0. Are you aiming to make it exactly the same on all platforms?
You know, that's a great question. So the team's incredibly excited about how deeply connected and authentic the
Agora eu
experience
quero
is in
saber
Call
em
of Duty
questão de
Warzone
como
Mobile.
vai ser o
And we'll
crossplay
continue
aí,
to
mano.
adapt the best content and
Eles
features
vão
and
dividir
innovations created across the
dos
franchise.
emuladores.
But at the same time, we recognize that mobile is a very unique
pelo amor
platform.
de Deus.
Mobile has its own flavor,
Pelo amor de
advantages,
Deus.
and player expectations.
Sounds like the game will be tied into the Call of Duty franchise pretty nicely. And will there be
Os
mobile-specific
caras colocar
events or
junto o
content that
telefone
is
com o
unique
PC
to
aí com o
Warzone
emulador, porra, vai se
Yes,
fuder, mano.
above all else, the team is committed to
Pelo amor de
ensuring
Jesus Cristo.
Warzone Mobile is a world-class, mobile-first experience right down to its core. Controls are a huge part of it. It just needs to feel natural on the device, intuitive, and native to the platform. A lot of it comes down to tuning. And this is why we're supporting synchronous crossplay between iOS and Android platforms exclusively on mobile. And we're avoiding the imbalance that comes with cross-playing between mobile devices and consoles or mobile to PC. This allows our teams to deliver the best possible mobile gameplay experience with a unified feel. And by doing this, we don't need to compromise the tuning for any platform. This ensures a level playing field and more fun for everyone. Now, keeping those controls balanced for all player types, it's super important. So whether you're the hardest of hardcore mobile pros, or maybe you're a console first player that's sneaking in an extra match during your lunch break, even brand new players to the franchise who need a little help getting into the flow of the game, we are committed to providing the most robust control options anywhere for a pick up and play experience that's accessible to all of our players.
I love that accessibility, and that means all my friends can get in on the action for a change, but how do they sign up?
Well, it's time to get your mobile devices ready, because I'm super excited to announce that starting right now, you can pre-register for your free download in the Google Play Store. Signing up means that you can be among the first to play when the game launches next year. We look forward to seeing everyone in Call of Duty Warzone Mobile.
With that being said, hey, we got Ferg on the horn, and I think he's literally the first one to pre-reg. Ferg?
Hey guys, Ferg here, and I am thrilled to be one of the first to pre-register for Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. And now you can too. Scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen to be among the first to drop. Tell your friends, because the more pre-registrations we drive, the more rewards we can earn, like special weapons, vinyls, and emblems. Plus, if we reach the top milestone of 25 million pre-registers, we're going to unlock a super cool secret reward you're not going to want to miss. What are you waiting for? Sign up using the QR code below.
Provavelmente esse cara aí é um streamzinho. Tá cheio aí do stream de código. Opa! Isso aí, vai ser trailer do quê?
We are back. It's Miles here, joined by Maven, Alicat, and Nameless Studio. Oh, guys, the adults have left us alone on the desk, and now it's our time. I don't know about you guys, but okay, it's been a pretty lit day so far.
Yeah.
Where do we even start? I mean, dude, mobile, bro. It's a new era of Call of Duty.
Listen, Miles, I've been addicted to Call of Duty for over a decade. You're telling me I could be in the airport playing Warzone now? Back in Verdansk, that's lit. Also, Al Mazrah looks absolutely incredible.
Oh, it's insane. There's no shortage of crazy stuff coming my way. Ali, I mean, lay it on me. Multiplayer for for Modern Warfare 2, insane.
It's incredible. We actually got to load up with some of the players yesterday in a little bit of a pre-test, and loading into Gunsmith 2.0 was actually so aesthetically pleasing, and I think everybody at home, once they also get their hands on it, they're going to love it just as much as we do here.
Truly. Maven, my good friend, you've played more Warzone than most people on the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah,
how do you feel
8 hours a day for years, it feels like. It just seems fresh, man. The map, like everything about it, triple circles, the water, the boats. I mean, I was like kind of the proximity mine king for a while there, placing under vehicles, trying to blow them up and set booby traps. And now you're telling me I could do them in not only land, but also the sea. I'm with it.
It's going to be something, man. We really have seen a lot so far today. We've seen, Warzone Mobile, of course, multiplayer there, and a bit of Warzone 2.0. Cannot wait. But, guys, it's time to get into business. Let's now get into the Command Center. This is it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Command Center, presented by Xfinity Rewards. We're rolling the show through all day today. Xfinity customers, they can start playing Modern Warfare 2 sooner with Xfinity Rewards. Visit xfinity.com/rewards to get your code for early access to the open beta. It's free and it's easy to join. Guys, I mean, every time I sit down, I take a breather, I'm like, there's so much. But first and foremost, guys, before we get into this one, so many streamers here. We need to give a big shout out to Intel, who's powering all of the streaming PCs here today. Massive shout out to those guys. Clint, there are 2 PCs on every desk. Explain.
Hey, I couldn't believe it. Cloxy is here. Like the fact that he actually made the trip out, I figured they had to have something special. The fact that you have a dedicated PC to the streaming side and to the gameplay side, and it's set up for this many
vai começar a parte boa, né? Acho que vai começar agora o gameplay da rapaziada.
Ridiculous. We're actually almost ready to get into the gameplay, guys. I mean, Ali, you teased it a little.
Yeah,
you
just
played,
a little.
We a little, yeah. We played a tiny bit.
You could have an accent too.
Did. I'm getting mocked here. My bloody desk. We got to play a tiny bit yesterday.
Yes.
Pretty fun. But now we get to watch 200 streamers, some of the world's finest, quite literally from almost every part of the planet, coming together here in this crazy top secret location. What can we expect?
It's going to get loud. It's going to get incredibly loud. Yesterday, it was loud, and I believe like not even everybody had shown up yet. So now that we have a full building of all of these creators, all of these PCs, I'm expecting people to get up and start screaming, Miles. It's going to be insane.
Clint, we heard Courage from like headphones on. He can be heard from space.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like Bobby Hawk, he's on a subtrain or something. Lord knows what that's going to sound like, but. My boy Tyler Blevins Ninja here as well. But like I think this is a testament to how pumped up everyone gets about Call of Duty every year. Like the fact that there are this many big name streamers in attendance, we're going to see some incredible gameplay, go through the various modes. I mean, this is going to be a real treat. It really is.
I mean, and you've been around a long time in the Call of Duty world. In this venue right now, we've got streamers and players from, all across North America, South America. We've got players all over Europe, Japan, Australia, you name them. We're all over here. Mobile players everywhere. How do you describe the vibe in the room right now?
I mean, it's just incredible. It's a bunch of homies who love Call of Duty all in one room getting ready to grind. And, I was talking to them earlier. I was walking around doing the round saying what up to everybody. They're going hard, right? Like, I was talking to some of the Warzone guys, Repos. He's like, I'm here to fry. Zuma's ready to go. So I'm interested to see them with these new weapons and the Gunsmith, what they come up with, especially our new game modes like Prisoner. It's going to be lit.
Listen, as much as they're here for their love of Call of Duty, they're also here because they want that banger clip. Like, everybody wants, like, like, you're trying to go out and fry some of these big names, get a clip out on social, your YouTube, whatever it's going to be. So yeah, I'm sure people are going hard in the paint or falling to their desk at their Tim. I'm sure we're gonna have a couple of those.
We'll go a little bit of that later on. I think we're actually ready to hop into gameplay.
Já rolando aí a gameplayzinha.
First here, and he's already down and out, but we are playing, I believe, Hardpoint and Mercado, Nameless.
Yeah, I didn't get to play this map yesterday, but one thing I just want to point out with this game is it's a lot more vibrant than some of the MW games that we've had in the past. There's so many more colors, and that's something that I always enjoy, especially with Call of Duty, is when it's more vibrant and you can see more on the map.
I think sometimes you go dev to dev, and yeah, it's like you have like your more realism.
Né, pra quem não sabe aí, né, o slide já era, né?
In particular, yeah, the second we saw like the fly-through of this, I mean, it just looks gorgeous. It really does. And not that I had any concerns about the visual side of it, because every year, but it's just aesthetically pleasing. It is.
It's very, very pretty. That is, of course, Dr. Lupo. You can watch him stream this live. Every single member of the crazy, I don't even have a name for it, the stream pit here, COD Next, all of them live on their own channels, and unreal, man.
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, all these guys are going hard. You can see he's locked in. Talking a little bit about the game and the movement, though. When I first hopped on yesterday, the movement felt so much different than Call of Duty's in the past. You know, it's not that slide cancel. You got to complete your slide. The dive mechanic, it plays out so much different when you're going into a gunfight. You can dive out of a window. Miles, it was a lot of fun. We were getting into the mix.
We really did get into the mix. I'm going to tell this now on air in front of God knows how many people, but last night, Ninja wasn't in the venue. I played on his side. He wasn't quite here.
Esse é o novo movimento aí. Esse cara chegou correndo e pulou, rapaz. Tá ligado? Isso aí é o novo. Nova técnica de movimento do game, né? Eles tiraram o slide cancel, mas colocar essa parada aí. Você vem correndo e se joga. Tá ligado? Eu me esqueci o nome dessa parada aí que o Zé tá falando. Mas também falaram aí na questão do slide cancel. Tipo, vão deixar desligado e vão esperar tipo, o feedback da comunidade, né? Se tiver muita reclamação que querendo de volta o slide cancel, eles vão reativar, né? A coisa que eu acredito que a galera vai cair em peso em cima reclamando, eles vão colocar de volta. Assim se espera, né, velho? E não dá, né, cara? Porque eles falaram, porque essa parada do slide cancel no MW 2019 foi tipo uma parada, um glitter aquilo ali, né? Não era a parada que era pra ter no jogo, era tipo um negócio quebrado que acabou a galera gostando e eles simplesmente deixaram, né? Isso aí, né? Mas tipo, veio o 2019, quando o Vanguard pra agora tirar, deixava, mano, essa parada. Aí bora ver aí que eles reclamem, isso aí retorna logo o mais rápido possível, né? Porque eu praticamente prefiro que tenha, cara. Aí já o Sarif Bay.
Is how kind of realistic the movement with your gun is, if that makes sense. Like, there's obviously always going to be recoil, your attachment's always going to mess with that, but when you peek corners and stuff, the way your gun moves with you is very, very realistic, and I think that's going to be something a lot of these players are going to notice.
Parece robô ali com a câmera.
There of when you're spectating a player, you get that kind of like over-the-shoulder, like tactical camera view, and it just adds this insane level of like, it's like realism, but like it just looks so exciting to watch. And when you're, enjoying like, maybe seeing your teammates play or whatnot, it just looks so cool. It's a nice new feature here in the game. And sorry, Clint, this is the new knockout mode. I don't think you might not know what it means.
Já tá só modo de mobile. A gente jogou muito o mobile, cara. Mobile, mano. Jogou muito mesmo, mano. Não foi brincadeira, não. Só que, infelizmente, os jogos mobile, mano, se perderam, cara, de uns anos pra cá, mano. É um jogo bonito, visualmente muito bonito, mas que só mercenário, cara.
Oh, was that too hard? He's my... No.
Okay. He's doing the classic. He's going to set. He's like, he's doing the classic.
Tá ligado, cara? Infelizmente, isso aconteceu com o jogo, mano. Tipo, eles evoluíram muito na questão gráfica, com um avanço gigantesco, mas questão de conteúdo uma merda. Vê o Diablo Immortal, mano. Tá ligado? Os games tá tudo na pegada do Diablo, mano. Mercenário pra porra.
I mean, when we jumped into Modern Warfare in 2019, when they introduced the Gunsmith, it was a lot to take in, but now everybody's familiar with it.
E ver que o Diablo Immortal pra mim é assim, uma merda de qualquer jeito. Eu joguei mesmo, tentei, né? Porcaria. É por isso que eu tô falando, que na minha maior e assim, meu hype no momento do mobile é o Warzone mobile, mano. É porque é o que eu falo pra rapaziada, o que você quer jogar alguma coisa no mobile, ou é FPS ou MOBA, que é só que tá valendo a pena lá. E de resto, bosta.
Yeah, I don't know why I said it that way.
Like the all-time great.
Yeah. Ross, he's the greatest, but there we go. Swag now getting involved as well. And to your point, Anadi, about Gunsmith, I mean, it's at this point in time, obviously, it's quite hard to recognize, but that is a part of the M4 platform. Right now, that's his primary weapon.
O swag, né?
I mean, it's awesome. You can switch it up. You can make it into a sniper, I think is what I heard.
Famosão pra caramba lá na gringa. O mais famoso do código da gringa, esse maluco aí.
Just make some crazy different loadouts. You know some of these guys.
Acaba faz live aí, é pra mais de 10 mil assistindo ele.
9.5-hour-long attachment video from J-God.
Oh God, he's so excited about that. And I want to talk about the map aesthetics for a moment and like the layout. Is the rooftops?
Eu tô no código imóvel, grupo, não é pra dar umas treinadazinhas, cara, pro Warzone, mas só que eu não jogo muito não, porque por causa da minha distonia, mano, aí começa a escorregar, aí o suor começa a atrapalhar no prod.
Like, I would get to an edge of the rooftop and I was like, I wonder if I can make this jump.
Não, eu só tô jogando um pouco. Acho que vai pegar aquela luvinha de dedo aqui pra lá, né?
Across like the map, if there's tall buildings, you can make it across the map without
Botar
ever
uma
having
olhadinha
to
se
touch the
vende por
ground.
aqui.
And I think for snipers,
Vai
that
ser
is
coisa
going
barata,
to be
né?
their absolute playground.
Speaking of snipers, Pomage now, who's having a great time here. I mean, we've seen a lot, Clint, of the weapons so far, but surely a sniper.
Cadê? Tem ninguém não de snipe não? Não tem não nenhuma snipezinha não, cara? Pra
I think
ver
it's when
como
he
é
was
que
first
tá.
walking in. He was walking in and rational to people, and he was like, "I'm going hard, bro."
Oh yeah.
He's like, "I'm
Não vi
going
nenhuma câmera aí com alguém
hard."
puxando
I
o
can just
snipe.
hear like the competitiveness in
He's
him.
got-
He's
he's
looking
got-
right.
And this knockout game is not going very well for the red team right now. Pomage's team obviously winning this one. Again, secure the grab. The
Ó, a galera
hold
jogando
on to that bad
o
boy.
mobile
I forgot,
também, ó.
friends, here at
Olha.
Connex, it's all going on. Mobile gaming.
O cara lá em cima jogando
We've
mobile.
got all
Olha,
of it
já a
going
luvinha.
on. Really, a celebration of everything that is Call of Duty and even courage. He may have just sworn.
Do you see the gloves on
Yeah,
Esse
they're
mobile,
yeah,
puta que pariu, mano. Tô louco com essa porra
professional.
sair. Agora eu não vi data, não foi, rapaziada? Não vi data não, né? Não para que eu não prestei atenção, foi na data. Não vi se ele não dele dando data não.
Sleeves? I would.
I think you should, yeah.
You know, sometimes it gets a little bit slippery. I need thumb sleeves. What are they called? I'm
I
going
know-
thumb sleeves.
You're in the right place to ask
Yeah.
about that. There is an army of
Oh, I'm looking into
professionals.
that. No, that's actually an issue. It's like it's a little bit slippery, you know?
So they're playing some hard point here, and
Nossa, mano, ó o slide. Você dá o slide, mas você não consegue cancelar não, tá ligado? Dá o
There's
slide
a hard
tenso
point
não.
and there's some elevation above it. You can
Nossa,
dive
mano.
into it, turn around, land on your belly, and get absolutely fried. So, you know, there are some movement mechanics for you speed demons out there if you want to make some plays.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk
Ah,
about
Luke, aí é
slide
sacanagem,
down,
Luke.
of course, the dolphin
É,
dive.
jogar
I
no
don't think it's-
controle.
We're not officially calling it the dolphin dive. Joyce got calling it the dive
Eu jogo
itself. I mean,
na
it's
tela
a
mesmo,
really
mano. Negócio
fun
mobile,
mechanic.
pra mim fica
It's
mais
fast.
bacana
We get
jogar
to
na
see some
tela
gameplay
mesmo,
with it.
cara.
I've actually been walking around talking to some of the sort of the CDL pros, being like, hey guys, try to stop sliding, try to
Eu
dive a
vou
bit
dar
more.
uma
Come on,
olhadinha,
butters.
pegar aquelas
Show us
luvas
the
de
dive.
dedo. Acho que deve ser uma parada em 20 conto por aí no
Right out the
máximo.
window. Just dive out the window. Send it.
And all the windows are built to be diveable through.
Nossa,
Like,
olha
that's
isso,
the way the
mano.
game
Olha
is.
That's
isso,
what Joe was kind of saying, right?
porra,
Like,
mano.
they've seen it so much in playtesting, and
Ai.
he goes into a window, like everyone sends it out.
Tô
So,
bolo
I
uma
think that was the
dosada ali.
exciting
Olha aí,
moment.
snipe.
Here we go. Butters
Snipe.
sniping there. That's the, so we have the Hurricane, she's running overkill. That's going to be one of the
Cadê?
M4
Ela tá com
platforms,
o snipe
and the
secundário.
snipe on the other side. And we
Testing
have,
the mechanic, look.
Olha isso,
there we go,
olha.
testing things
Nossa,
out,
se isso aí
trying to find the
é
sneaky
melhor nem usar isso aí, cara. Olha que
I couldn't. I was
lentidão
trying
que
to see if
fica
I could break
na
the
play
slide.
do cara.
No slide
Well, that works
breaking.
out. Yeah, look at her face. She's just like going around testing out the movement. Someone just runs right in front of her. That works out. Give me a freebie.
You know what I'm noticing
Não,
on
a
this
snipe ali
map?
é gigante, viu? Porra. Parece
Not as many
robô,
goals, I
snipe,
think
mano.
in general is the overall vibe. I mean, most of the maps we've seen so far are quite small, very fast paced.
Nossa,
Again,
mas
Jeff talking about that. You've got
tá
a very
dando é
distinct
nojo
feel, so it's like
desses
a battle
slide aí
map,
já.
it's very large,
Yeah.
way more intense action. Of course, there's like evasion stuff. 6v6 is a totally different flavor. I mean, that obviously and excites us
Oh,
more
that-
than
that
maybe it
excites us.
should most.
Oh, I mean, we love it, right? Like, we're here to see people go hard, try to win, be competitive, and
Ooh, okay.
another thing we're seeing a lot
E aí,
of
DH, salve, mano, beleza?
snipers are going to be in heaven.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Boa
it's,
tarde, meu
max
parceiro.
2 stories, I believe. I could be completely wrong there, but
Hit it. Hit it.
also look at
It's a
that little stock.
Did you guys use the sniper yesterday?
Yeah, right?
No, I didn't.
I used it for a whole.
Não, bacana, mano, que mostrou agora, né? Só que eu não tô gostando mesmo é dessa porcaria do slide aí, né? E pra mim isso aí foi foi regredir na questão da movimentação do game, né?
This is my favorite map.
Elementos aí, mano. Quando ficou cagada foi isso aí mesmo, mano.
Also, something we haven't talked about yet is the way the perks work. I actually
Galera,
love
3
it.
anos aí jogando slide 500 pra do nós maluco
As you
tirarem.
get kills, you get more perks. As
Aí
time
ficou
goes on, you're gonna have
cagado.
2 base perks. You can pick whatever you want. As time goes on,
Isso é a XM4, tá aparecendo
you're gonna get an
XM4.
ultimate perk as well. So it's actually it's completely new.
Pô, só a
they've redone
M4
it,
com
and it's
cano
gonna be sweet.
diferente.
Well, the reason I think
Já que a
I
XM4
haven't,
é uma
I haven't
variante da
really played it
M4.
yet to deal with it too much to see like how vastly different it makes the gameplay. But I know for a lot of us, when you're playing like the multiplayer experience, I feel like you get a couple perks you like, and you just sort of pick those. They're your go-to. You don't really
Então,
think about it,
mostra
right?
já a
You
invasão
figure it out
imóvel,
in the
mano. Já
first
mostrou
couple
já.
of days or weeks of playing the game.
Foda pra
Those are your
caramba,
perks.
mano. Ali fica
Now it's
louco.
like
Foda, foda,
I
foda.
feel like there's more decision making that goes into it, which I personally think is exciting. Now, I don't know what I'm going to be running. But
Foda, cara.
it does feel like they were saying,
Massa
what was
mesmo.
it, the different type of classes they were trying to put? You have your rusher, kind of your
Acho que é uma das maiores novidades, né, cara?
Like
é o Warzone Mobile, né? Mas a maior novidade mesmo aí da atualmente é ele.
But you can also make your own, so you can create it, pick your own 2 perks, your next one, and your ultimate, so you can, figure out what you want, and it's just nice having like a rewarding game, especially when you're frying.
E tem gente jogando aí também, isso que ele tá mostrando aí a rapaziada jogando no MW2 aí. De vez em quando ele bota uma tela de um cara jogando o Warzone Mobile, mano. Então, cara, ó, a Verdansk, pô, a melhor época, né, do COD e Warzone foi a época do Verdansk, mano. A primeira season lá, o jogo tava bem otimizado lá, assim, essa frescura toda que tá hoje, foi a melhor época do game. E é justamente essa, né, que a gente vai pegar, né, no mobile, né?
But it is going to make you way more effective.
I kind of want to be Captain America now that you're saying.
Taking Jeff and Joe's thunder.
Well, Zippity was just on screen, so.
I mean, the wagon on that boy.
What?
Agora, o que eu achei foda aí, outra coisa aí, mano, os caras meio que cagaram, né, velho, pros play brasileiros, mano, os malucos que meio que representam aqui o Brasil, né?
Yes, it might be.
Chamaram ninguém.
It's Brooke's TikTok, you know, she's very creative.
This is a Search and Destroy, Call of Duty Classic here on
Pelo menos que eu tinha visto, né?
This is one of the maps that we saw in an Intel drop not too long ago. Ooh, let's
go. Esse cara tá jogando com estilo canhota, o cara pode mudar?
And you know, of course, we're talking about three-lane maps. This is one of those maps that felt like a very good hybrid 3-lane map that does really, really well when it comes to games like search and destroy. Like you have your traditional outer lanes, and they have their hidden corners, and they have their ways, and then that middle is just pure chaos. It's kind of like a little bit of like a paintball, like a paintball range with all the corners that there are. So this is probably one of my favorite maps that we are playing right now in the beta testing. And as you can see, everybody is having so much fun. 4 and 5 is doing pretty okay. It's a close game. Aiden has 14 kills. I just saw the kill board. He's on the other team.
Mason just realized he's on the stream.
Falou? Não vi não, mano. Não vi não.
He's fully loaded. Look at the bottom.
Não, olha, pelo que mostrou mesmo do evento mesmo, desde que começou o evento mesmo, às 2 horas, não vi nenhum brasileiro não. A não ser que ele tenha mostrado antes de começar nos bastidores.
That's the Fennec. I was loving that one.
Só mostrou mesmo os famosão, Swag aí, o Aiden, o Boia, os caras da FaZe, né?
Nice try, Mason. We still love you.
Hurricane OP. Hurricane.
It's such a different look. Like when we're spectating these players and they're having gunfights, stuff like the way the player animations are, the sound effects, like the game has just been like it's everything we liked about MW19, all the stuff that was already there existing, and they've just been. I mean, it's
é o Ninja, né? Ninja é famosinho pra caramba, mas ele é jogador de COD não, mano, jogador de Fortnite, se não me engano, né? Ninja. Aí é onde eu falo, mano. É uma coisa que eu falo. Chama um cara de tipo jogador de outro game, tá ligado? Podendo chamar a galera realmente do COD.
Again, looking at these weapons, you know.
Eu tô ligado, porque querendo ou não, é marketing, né? É marketing, mano, é marketing. Querendo ou não, porque querendo ou não, Ninja é um dos times, dos maiores times que existe hoje, se não me engano, é o Ninja, né? É um dos, né? Aí chama o cara pra mostrar, né? Que, mas você pensar pelo lado do meio da galera que realmente só traz conteúdo de COD, não tá lá, exemplo, exatamente, Ninet, Tony Boy. Olha os caras, mano, aqui no Brasil, gigante, pô. Os caras botam o Ninja que não joga o game. É como o Jota falou aqui, né? Marketing, né? Tony Boy e Nines junto, não dá 5% do que o Ninja tem de público. Aí os caras preferem chamar um cara grande pra mostrar, né? É a mesma coisa aqui do Brasil e do Xbox, né? Os caras preferem chamar os fanboys de PlayStation que foda o Xbox pra falar, tá ligado? Do que chamar a galera que realmente gosta do console. Infelizmente é assim, né, velho? Que funciona, né? Público, né? Propaganda. Foda, mano.
Yeah, this sub looks like it's dominant.
Also, all the sounds and everything when you level up guns. Everything is there. I mean,
I wish everyone could experience just this environment, though. Like, as much as we're
Agora, na moral, mano, a movimentação
like, a lot of these content creators,
regrediu
like,
muito,
they're familiar with each other, they play games online, but like, it's not
regrediu muito, velho. Olha, você nem vê os caras usando slide, velho, fazendo a movimentação massa ali, que era uma coisa bacana do código que atualmente chamava muita atenção, ficar se movimentando bem.
For a solid 30 seconds. It was beautiful.
And it just shows like
isso aí pra mim foi uma cagada do cara. Não, mas que realismo, se o cara for querer realismo, vai lá pra Ucrânia, pô, tá tendo lá realismo.
The beta starts tomorrow, in case you've been living under a rock.
É vida, quer realismo, vai procurar uma de verdade, vai estar no jogo.
One of the two, there's no in between. User interface has been completely changed as well.
E outra, ó, DH, a parte da manhã já tá disponível, mano. Como tu não tem a pré-venda, tu só vai poder jogar dia 17. Não é, DH? Quer realismo, vai pra lá, pô.
So many cool changes, a lot more of a
Isso aqui é
streamlined
foda,
experience.
velho.
It's sexy. That's not a lot of ways to describe it.
I love that, especially like when you click start, you go.
Engraçado é que você tá jogando com os malucos. Ah, mano, um jogo de guerra, meu que fica pulando, afiar porra. Tu tá levando 30, 40 balas no peito na vida, tu aguenta esse tanto de tiro pra poder morrer?
I also quite enjoyed that like it doesn't obscure too much of the
O cara quer reclamar de uma coisa, é ligado? É foda, né, velho?
kind of like situational awareness running game.
Quer realismo, vai jogar Free Fire. Ô, Lupe, ela é muito realismo,
This is all
Lupe.
about like the first picks into it, but they've looked pretty balanced
Ali é
so
muito
far.
realismo.
Like, SMGs have been absolutely disgusting up close, whether the AR gets first shot or not. And at long
Free Fire
range,
é um
the
realismo
SMGs haven't been
pessoa.
ripping as well. The recoil gets insane at that sort of range. So I feel like it looks like the gun balance as well, regardless of your attachments and what configuration you end up
E outra
playing with,
DH,
is
tem
very
a
much
versão
Because,
feminina do
it just
Ghost.
feels like sometimes
Vai
it
ter a
turns
versão
into
dela aí.
this one gun that can do everything,
Yeah.
right? And I think everyone appreciates a little bit of
A
variety.
Ghost
It
tá.
feels like an AR,
Literally what
Tem
this
um Ghost
game
e a
is, you
Ghost.
change your gun up to whatever you want, right? So
Well, in a way, yeah, but like I think to Ali's point, like there seems to be a little more separation between
Yeah,
your
like I
SMGs
haven't
and your
seen
AR.
Mano, olha
do it all
isso,
gun
cara.
just yet.
Ah, mano, eu fico assim, pô, dá os slides, mano. Ali você vinha correndo nos slides, mano, as paradinhas massa. O cara vem correndo e... O cara já chegava deslizando, pulando, virando a porra e voltava. E o cara gasta só correndo assim, puta que pariu, mano. Toma no cu. Esse que é o foda, mano. 3 anos consecutivos, mano. Você com uma porra da uma movimentação, pra do nada a porra, a Kenga da produtora tirar, mano. Esse que dá raiva, pô. Acostuma o cara pra ir lá e tome, cortar. Aff, mano, na moral, mano, dá uma raiva do caralho. Mas segundo o Airinho, segundo o que ele falou no vídeo dele lá, mano, ela tipo que vai deixar desligado isso, né? Mas se a comunidade meter o pau, reclamar, ela vai lá e puf, liga, né? Eu espero que assim seja, né? Turma cair no pau, ela vai lá, não, vamos ligar aqui o slide cancel aí, beleza, né?
Oh, Chris Crowder, listen, I'm not sure what's going on here.
Não é?
Chris
É
has
só
been,
andar e correr.
growing some sort of beard that's happening for the first time that I've seen. He's usually very baby faced. Now he's kind of going for some sort of supermodel type thing, or maybe like being a rapper, singer. I'm not sure.
He's a handsome
He really is. He really is.
A tiny little bit of a user interface there. If you hold a circle, whatever your sort of crouch button is when you're on a ladder, you can fast slide down it. So that's going to get spicy in fight.
Oh, he's on his feet.
He's on his feet.
The Gouch.
Oh, man.
99,9 desse cara que tá indo com esse nenhum.
Iron sights here, kind of clean.
Well, I think this is great too for a lot of, I mean, people like, you saw Zenny, you saw Crowder, for those who don't know, they work on the CDL side, they're really in the midst of stuff during the season. They don't get to come to stuff like this that often and see all these content creators. I imagine they're in heaven. I've seen some of the tweets.
Se eu não me engano, essa arma aí, esse cara tá usando aí, é uma das armas da pré-venda, né? Tô com a versão mais cara. Se eu não me engano, essa skin aí. A versão de 450 pilha. Ai, meu Deus.
But yeah, there's a ton of cool stuff, and I mean, we're seeing Wilson's in there as well.
Dude, I love that.
We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Rapaz, é que foi chegando, rapaziada. Não esquece não, hein? Deixa o likezão aí pra dar essa fortalecida, mano. Beleza? Tô chegando aí, deixa o like.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna be seeing it all.
Yeah, Miles, like, if we play
Olha a classe outro jogando. O cara deitadozinho, mano. É gostoso, mano, né, mano? Você vê esses campeões se fudendo, né?
Sometimes visualizing your ankles just tied to the desk.
They can wheel me in the chair, but it's hard to get down the stairs.
Here we go. Redman, how we doing?
And what a shot. He got 2.
Hat over the headset.
He killed Nick Merckx.
All right,
See you later, Nick.
So this is the air support we were saying.
Yeah, this is.
Oxe, já perguntei se é a mulher, não é o cara, mano. Para!
The Fennec. Or it's a
Parei.
custom one.
Wait a minute.
Longer range, maybe? But that looks like the Fennec. Yeah, that's the Fennec Iron Sight.
That boy don't recoil.
Redman.
What?
Fala, Bac, beleza, meu parceiro? Eu ia perguntar, eu ia dizer, Bac, é pedido ou pedida?
But he's holding that thing down.
Vai atirando, né, Bac? É.
He's a mouse, obviously recoil long range. You can
É, Bac, tiraram, porra. O slide cancel dessa merda, mano.
Yeah, cameraman, get in there real close. Show me the hands.
Kai, ele joga melhor que tu. Pois é, Lucas.
Gun him.
So we played this map yesterday in the 3P mode.
Surfando pelo chão.
This is a lot of fun. We saw a
Não
top
vale nem a
position
pena usar
so
essa
far.
porcaria batida do slide, mano. Isso aí é mais atrapalha do que ajuda, mano. Pelo que tá agora aí. Isso aí, olha isso, mano. Olha. Isso é um atraso de movimentação. Oxi, tá louco, mano.
So not surprised to see him finding some wins in the long range battles, but
I gotta see his recoil control.
O boneco
What do you
faz.
guys think about all these maps so far?
Aí, tá ligado? Parece que tá aí, morre, aí volta a vida. Aí, horrível, mano.
Honestly, notice this is museum. Nice big central area, essentially
bom,
three
tira uma
lanes.
moto,
I
é?
mean, this is
Ah,
a
porra.
second story. We're about to go up there now. This is where Breadman
Olha o
is.
Scope
It's
tá
nice,
jogando.
and we've got some decent lines of sight. Snipers
Scope é
are
brabo
having a lot
pra
of fun
porra,
here.
sniper
We
do
played hardpoint
caceta.
on this map. We played prisoner
Eu não vi
rescue.
o teste,
Courage and I
o
clutched
teste
up
meu
big
cara
time last night, like
foda pra
45.
caralho,
I had the
mano.
prisoner on my back. I was sprinting, and I can hear Jack picking up
Miserável
3-4
é
kills.
brabo pra
Let's go,
porra.
baby! Screaming.
that's
I'm
the
there
guy.
sprinting.
I'd be that guy on the team too. I'd be carrying. Yeah.
It was great. It was really great. We had a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool, you know, the opening breaks and
Mas já tá
stuff.
com
Like,
15
He's on a 15
consecutivas já, hein?
streak, by the way.
excuse me.
Yeah, he was frying.
He's literally annihilating the lobby. Yeah,
his-
let's stick with him. He's on 15 in a row. Another cruise coming in. Bang!
This is the Elgato.
Receba o Tomahawk aí na cara.
And Fina Zen. Oh, he gets
Duas
two again.
kill.
Just ripping him.
He's
Ô,
the same
louco,
two
tem
people.
outro.
Oh, sorry, this guy. Oh, it's a replay.
Oh, is it? I was about to say.
it's a replay.
He was on 15 in a row. I thought he got another one. I thought he wrapped his
Ah, o
streak.
maluco é top no
Dude,
recoil, viu?
I basically just pulled a symphony, dude, when he was casting the
Ou
pregame
a arma
thing.
é zero recoil aí, o
I thought he
maluco
earned
sabe
another
segurar
one.
bem, viu?
Ah. Well, last thing I saw was 15 streak. I was fired up for my guy.
Segurar recoil, rapaziada, não é fácil não, viu? O cara
It's
tem que
just
pegar a
sounds
manha
crazy. I think
mesmo
it's
pra
still
poder
double.
segurar essas coisas de recoil, essas
It might be
paradas.
his stream, but either way,
It's a stream.
that boy is ripping metal.
Pra quem não sabe, o recoil é com se atira, a arma fica pulando a mira. Sabe segurar pra ela ficar centralizada, né?
He's
Isso
already
aí
at
é
his second tier of perks.
difícilzinho,
which I
cara.
think was Spotter. 19 kills. Let's go,
Ô,
Breadman.
louco, mano, só tem esse
And
cara
of course,
jogando
he's
aí.
working his way towards that final perk here in this hardpoint.
Yeah, it's not that crazy. I thought he wrapped streaks now, is it?
Não, Baque, eu faço isso no controle, mano.
20.
Questiona essa teclado não, mano. Não dá pra fazer no controle que eu faço. Então, mano, eu faço no controle, cara. É questão de prática, mano. Prática, cara. Inclusive, pra quem joga no console, segurar o recoil é mais difícil ainda pra quem joga em PC, por causa da questão do FOV. Ainda tem isso, o FOV ainda influencia no recoil, mano. Como ele é muito próximo, o FOV é 80, você tem que ficar muito... Você vê mais, tá ligado? Isso atrapalha pra caramba ainda. Quem joga com 120 consegue ter mais facilidade no controle de recoil, porque a visão é mais distante, aí a mira você consegue mexer, você não vê ela pulando tanto, tá ligado? Até isso aí, mano, o FOV influencia pra quem pensa que é só na questão do campo de visão, né? Eu quero ver um cara jogando de sniper aí, pô, alguém jogando de sniper. Cadê? Bota no scope, mano. No scope aí, ele joga de sniper. Aí, o scope ali apareceu. Quem matou ela foi o scope. Quero ver o cara jogando de sniper, pô. Ver como é que tá esse sniper aí, ó. Ah, o maluco é jogando de sniper. Quem é isso? Isaac. Filha da porra.
What have we got here?
We got a sniper.
I just think about, imagine loading in, like trying to check everything out, run some different guns, and Breadman's just up top.
Yeah, no, he just looked dialed in. I don't think he said a word. Hit it!
Tá sniper lenta pra caramba, mano. Nossa senhora.
Two posted up on the bridge, just shut them down, but...
So he has the pistol on Miles. Remember we were playing with it? We turned into a fully auto sub yesterday.
Yeah, thing.
Pelo visto só tem essa disponível aí.
Of course, Gunsmith is ridiculous.
Nossa senhora.
You can turn your sidearm into something pretty neat.
Olha isso.
And of course, the ledge hang mechanic.
Ah, parece
hanging on ledge.
robô.
You were singing the Spider-Man song earlier. Hey man, not too. If Spider-Man carried a Glock,
Se é Frenek aí, é CMT. Tá com cara. Ou é Frenek.
Crazy to see like how much damage you can do with that thing.
Não é Frenek não, acho que é MP7.
It's something that we have to learn now.
Acho que é
as Call of Duty
MP7,
players.
mano.
I have to now look at funny ledges and see where players are.
Yeah. I was also trying out some of the field upgrades
Olha essa
yesterday
sniper,
for
mano.
the
Tá
short amount of
porra,
time
que
that I
sniper
did have. I tried
pesadona.
the camera one. It was so interesting. Just like throw it down, go hide in the corner. You can see when they're
Parecendo uma
pushing at you.
.50, acho que é uma .50
You
essa.
hold your own flank at
Yeah,
that
you got your own choke points.
That's great. And again, another
like,
thing.
Receba. Ah, tá vendo? Ela é lenta demais,
Isaac,
pô.
he nearly got both of them there.
Of course, Isaac, one of our streamers coming in
É,
from,
lenta
from
essa aí
Europe,
é...
made the long trip across.
Yeah, I was wondering how many people we had
É
here.
lenta pra jogar, mano, só pra longa distância mesmo. Porque pra de perto assim, o cara, quanto mais rápido é melhor pro cara.
But as he's just trying to hit some snipes and try some of the different weapons, Bredman's kind of been annihilated. But there we go. Another shot gonna hit, bang.
I'm already really liking the sounds of these guns. I'm liking the way the crosshairs look. Like, this is something I cannot wait to get on.
Bredman just got a 3-piece, and then Isaac followed up with the 4th in the feed. That was very satisfying.
Oh, yeah.
Não, a questão do peso, Baca, é mais na questão de pra você correr, né? O peso da arma não influencia na questão de mirar de arma, não, mano. O peso mesmo só influencia na hora de você correr, né? Fica mais lento, essas paradas, né? Mas pra mirar, isso aí é o holodato da arma em si, né? Os equipamentos que você coloca na arma, influencia na questão do tempo de mira. Peso é só na hora de você correr.
I was using this yesterday. It's a powerful shot.
Got a couple collabs.
Olha, ia se fudendo, o cara ia finalizar ele, mano. O maluco salvou ele, o cara do time dele. Sorte aí, meu filho. Aí, a Frenek.
You've run so quick on this thing.
I mean, look how different this POV seems versus like the sniper POV.
Yeah.
O cara aí.
You're going.
Dosado, hein? Foi 12, hein?
Okay, Sean J.
Sean fries him. Again, this is that sort of idea of like the different, maybe not play styles, but kind of like player attributes here, what you're going for. You know, Crowder is obviously, he's way more aggressive, you know. He might be hitting flanks soon, but the way he's kicked himself out.
Whoa.
He's in the mix.
I think something that you could learn a lot, that all these creators are going to learn very quickly, is there a lot more paths on the map than you know about. Like, on this one specifically, behind Crowder, there's an underground passageway where one of the flags are, and, like, I didn't even know you could go down there. Like,
Ó, rapaz, se liga pra não perder, hein, rapaziada. Dia 22, já vou estar jogando beta já aqui no canal, então se liga aí pra acompanhar, hein. Beleza? Liga aí pra dar essa funcionais aqui. Assim que disponibilizar no Xbox, que é dia 22, vamos estar ao vivo aqui fazendo livezinha do beta, mano.
Crowder is locked in.
Tá vendo agora como é a monetação, mano? É só tipo correr, pegar flick nessas paradas, mano. Você não tem mais os slides, velho.
Going out, getting peaks, range combat.
O elemento faz falta, mano. O cara já tá acostumado.
Majority of the games.
I mean, they're not doing a great job in game. They've got the lead for now, but again, classic Dom, capture the flags. UAVs and all sorts, kill streaks coming up. No one's, I don't think anyone's going too crazy with any of the kill streak choices. We did see Crim6 with a VTOL earlier, again, classic from MW19.
Yep.
I wonder if we're going to see any more today.
Oh, you saw that? He jumped.
I can imagine. I mean, this is a chance to test run through, try different weapons. I mean, as much as I say that, we know how a lot of these people are. They're going for crazy clips. They want to drop bombs. They want to have high kill games. So some are going to find stuff they like, little combination they feel comfortable with, and they're going to send it. But Crowder, yeah, he's in the mix right now. Movement, I mean, he seems pretty comfortable so far. Just little hop chows.
Yeah, the bunny hop
freebies.
Like earlier, just hopping around. You can even hip fire this one. He's picking up a ton of kills. He's loving this class setup. He switched it up from last time.
So one of the big things, I mean, before the show started, I walked around and talked to as many of the streamers as I possibly could. And I was just like, you know, you've had a tiny bit of time with the game. How you feeling about this? And almost every single one of them said, I'm really struggling not to slide everywhere. They've been so used to doing that.
Get used to it.
From MW19 all the way through to Warzone when, you know, we're on Caldera. It's not the same. It's not the same.
I can say that just from all the Warzone I've played, like, it's gonna take like my hand, just the muscle memory of it. Like I'm just so.
Agora é quantos play aí, mano, no mapa? Esse é mapa 6 play, mas acho que é mais, mano. Esse 10 × 10, pelo tamanho do mapa.
My hands are gonna be very happy though. I'm not having to do that constantly across the map.
Yeah, if you try to slide around now, you might even be slower than just sprinting.
Honestly, yeah. That's how it looks.
Again, it's how you use it. The dive is a really great pattern for escaping. The slide gets you into different positions. Obviously,
I like to leave with my head. You know, the ball head. So I think the diving thing's gonna be good for me. Just like a bowling ball, you know, Miles, just sending it through a door, sitting it through a window. Maybe diving into someone. You think I can knock somebody out that way?
I wonder if there's an attachment for you.
You? Yeah.
like a unicorn
like
type
bayonet or something.
Yeah, bayonet on my head. Okay, that sounds sick though. Honestly, if the devs are listening, let's think
about. Pô, eu quero ver mais gameplay de sniper, cara. Bota mais a galera aí, pô, jogando de
Oh my
sniper.
god, I
Aí,
want that
colocou o
immediately.
Mimecel mesmo, cara. Eu quero ver a tela do scope,
This idea
mano.
of like, you know, Yondu.
Tom.
He's got a big fin on his head.
Yes,
But make
yes.
that late.
Absolutely. Isaac.
Oh, quick swat again. That is his sidearm. That's his pistol. Again, the range on that bad boy is going to be all that crazy, but you know it's going to rip when it hits.
Sniper's just so satisfying when you get to kill the sound, how
Pelo
deep it
visto
is.
só tem essa aí, né? Disponível no BES, só
It
tem
feels like there's no
tipo
drag
de
for
sniper,
sniper.
né?
When you were using an Ant. Did you have to lead your shot at all, or was it a direct hit?
It felt like an invasion, like I had to lead my shot a little bit, but that could just be because of Rusty. And I was trying to shoot across the map. That's but you can get some feeds, man. Like I got a couple collats with this gun. It's super powerful.
Sniping is back, friends.
Not to dub.
Snipe's so fast and fun again.
64.
What?
Yeah, we thought Bread was popping off. Destroy's up there frying. He's got double the score of everybody in the lobby.
64 kill, mano.
All right.
Look at this. Oh, man, through the door with the pistol. A lot of windows on that map as well. A lot of
O
glass.
cara correu pra pular, mano. Isso aí no outro, aí o cara deslizava e já vinha na porra do Bunny Hop ali. Mano. O cara sabe, mano. Eu acho que esse cara vai tomar no cu aqui atrás da porra de movimentação. Deixa eu dar um mijão aqui, rapaziada. Eu já volto já. 2 minutinhos.
So much in Modern Warfare 2. We're almost actually ready to keep the show running. Jess, you're down there with Zuma. Tell us how Tommy's doing.
Miles, that's right, I am right here with Zuma, Tommy Properado himself. So, I mean, you have now had your first taste of Modern Warfare 2 here at COD Next. What did you think?
Oh, it's incredible. The game feels super smooth. The gunplay is awesome. I like the time to kill, and the maps are dope. A lot of close quarter gunfights, and you know, I've been having a blast, man. The chat's loving it as well. They're loving it.
So there's so much to talk about, you know, new modes, new maps, changes to the Gunsmith. But what really stands out to you? Like, what are you excited about?
I'm really excited just to get the competition going. I mean, I'm excited for the CDO, and I heard them talking about ranked play, so, you know, I'm really excited for that. And Warzone 2 looked incredible as well. I was talking to Repulse. We're going to be the Warzone duo this year, so I'll be bouncing around between the both. But I'm just excited for something new, you know, a new game. And it's been a lot of fun to play, and there's so many amazing creators here. And just thank you to everybody, and thank you to Call of Duty for the opportunity to be here. It's awesome.
And then, you know, real quick, with Modern Warfare 2 on the horizon, what does the year ahead look like for you?
Man, just a lot of shows, man. A lot of flanks, a lot of streams. I mean, the content's going to be pushing all year. So excited, man. Zumafi's going to take over, and we're going to have some fun, man. We're going to have some fun.
All right, well, thank you so much. That is all from me for now. I believe I'm handing it off to my dear friend, Lottie.
Thank you so much, Jess, and it is so good to be here. My name is Lottie. First time on the desk, first time, of course, being in this incredible arena. I have a lot of wonderful folks on this desk, but it is now time to chat about an epic giveaway from our friends at Jack Links. Each Jack Links supply drop includes a brand new copy of Modern Warfare on the platform of your choice, delicious Jack Links limited edition products, and brand new epic in-game items that I promise you'll be dying to get your hands on. So check this out on how to enter.
Looking for an epic way to celebrate the launch of Modern Warfare 2? Jack Links has got you covered, giving you the chance to win the ultimate Modern Warfare 2 supply drop. Keep an eye out during the broadcast for the Jack Links Sasquatch to appear on screen. If you see it, grab your phone and scan the QR code.
Eu acho que não vai mostrar não, cara, a gameplay do Asma jogando no mobile não. Pela demora que vai ser a partida.
Ultimate viewing experience, courtesy of Jack Links. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, folks, so keep your eyes peeled to spot the Sasquatch on the screen throughout the show. Scan that QR code and enter all your information for a chance to win. But it is my absolute honor and pleasure to be on the desk, of course, alongside Maven. But we also have Jeff and Joe on here to talk all things Modern Warfare 2. Of course, our multiplayer design directors here. And we're just going to get a bit nerdy, to be honest. You know, we're going to look at a bit of gameplay. I am so excited to talk about it. But Maven, I've got to ask you, what do you want to dive into first? We have the two guys that are going to answer a question.
Well, first off, by the way, you guys killed it in the opening of the show.
Thank
you. Know, it started real smooth. I'm sure nerves are going a little bit, but it was awesome to see. But I know we're going to have gameplay that's going to be popping up. We're going to chat through stuff. But I think one thing I kind of want to chat through is just there's been a lot of significant changes. You guys are always looking to how to kind of tweak the wheel a little bit. Can we chat through kind of the perk change and where your head was at with regards to that? Because it's a big change. It's interesting.
Yeah, you know, perks haven't really been touched for a long time in the series. And I guess by nature, they're passive. And so most of the time we found people just, you know, find the 3 that they like, and that's it. They kind of forget about the...
I said that earlier. That's me.
Yeah.
Like, I find a few I like, and, like, that's my class. There
so
we go.
We just wanted to come up with a system that was a little bit more engaging. And so we grouped them into 3 different categories. You get 2 to start with, and then you pick a 3rd, and then you pick a 4th, and they're rewarded as you play. You really like how they proc at the end.
Yeah. I mean, an announcer comes up, tells you what perk you got, and it kind of re-engages you with what's available, right? And they're earned through time and score, so eventually you'll get them. And you're not gonna, it doesn't reset on death. It allowed us to kind of like create a couple more powerful perks and put them at the end because you're not going to have them the whole match. And there's some interesting depth there where you can say, okay, UAVs are really powerful early match. Like there's different things you can do where you're kind of like, if you're one of those players who really wants to noodle, you're like, okay, I know these aren't in play yet.
Well, I guess, listen, it's very different, but I'm also a big like RPG guy, so I like the process of like unlocking things and earning things. It's just like at the core of who I am. So I dig that. Just like the progression over the course of one single map, I think is very cool.
Yeah, it just feels good. It feels good. It feels good to be reminded what you have.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Oh, and I guess we didn't touch on actually is the packages, right? From like, we're talking a lot about the theory crafting of what you set up, but we actually have these defined packages. So early on, you just say, you know, I want this playstyle. I just grab this package and go. And then later on, you're like, okay, I like that, but I want to noodle a little bit. You can hop in and create your own package.
That kind of, it really, people can see that through the default loadouts. And we've packaged in, based on those kind of player behaviors we were talking about earlier, we've usually shipped 6 or 5 default loadouts, but we have 6 with this one.
Okay.
We found 2 for each behavior, and so those perk packages are already in there. And it's something different in this game. We actually allow you to attach a field upgrade within that, within each loadout. And so it's a little bit more micromanagey, but it felt to us that you're kind of more creating your class and your character for, you know, in that. So people in the beta should really try out those default loadouts because we put a lot of time into how those play.
Well, I'm curious in like play testing, did you see like I'm sure everyone has a way they view themselves as a player, like maybe you want to start as more like a Sentinel type. Did you see like as people got more comfortable with the game, like an evolution towards maybe a faster pace, or what did you notice when play testing these different types of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall most of our players are rushers.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Depends on the circles you run, but you know, there are these other players, and we wanted to just make sure that, you know, we're supporting all of them. And so, you know, some of the field upgrades can be more Sentinel and trying to hold down positions. But that's why we added in the DDoS, like we said, to kind of just say, I've had enough. I want to pause all this stuff and make it go away.
Yeah.
But we also leaned into creating game modes that can facilitate this kind of siege gameplay. But
now we talk about the rushing players, right? But we also want to talk about the pacing, the movement, you know, what it looks like, how it feels to be in game. And when I got a chance to get on the sticks yesterday, something I noticed is it is a little bit slower paced, right? We're going to be sprinting round, not sliding round. And I think another thing I want to talk about is the dolphin dives. I've been diving down escalators, getting prone, looking at hard points, trying to figure out, can I see bomb site B or A? Like, you know, it's pretty incredible with the movement and how it feels. What was it like making that? What were the decisions behind that pushing forward? Because the feel of the game is huge.
Yeah, I think fluidity, and I mentioned it previously, is like really, really important, right? But we did make some small tweaks, right? Like slide has a little bit more of a hang up so that people aren't just sliding around the map, so that they're actually moving through spaces, checking corners, and kind of like pacing themselves. But the general movement of guns should be almost exactly the same. And Jeff and I regularly check in. We're like, okay, how are we doing? Like, let's look at last game, let's look at this game. And we try and be consistent in that regard. But there have been these small tweaks, and the dive is one of those tweaks. The ledge hang is one of those tweaks. And those will change how people move through a space, right? You won't throw yourself over a wall, you'll peek that wall first.
Yeah, I love the ledge hangs because, you know, just testing out yesterday, being able to kind of ledge hang and really use it as intel as well. I think when it comes to multiplayer and competitive side, that's kind of where I'm at here, is being able in S&D, just being able to know where people are, give that intel to your team, peek that back down again, making sure you're not getting your dome ripped off by a sniper, of course, major stuff here, but and exciting that the fact that you can get your secondary weapon out and start to put a bit of damage in and help out there. So in terms of ledge hang, where did that come from? What was the idea behind it? You know, why is it so special to have that in the game?
To be honest, it came out of face planting too many times, parachuting in, just missing that ledge, and you're like, nope, that's frustrating. Let's fix that.
Well, we've all been there. Like, whether you've been playing Warzone, like you're trying to like hop and grab it, and you just like, it's like you want to hit the button to like activate the pull-up, but then you hit your shoot and you're like falling down. It can be so frustrating.
Yeah. So I mean, really, that's where it came from. But
yeah, it was also the high mantle too, right? Like late when we were developing Modern Warfare, and then Warzone started to come out. We had these walls and things. We ended up turning up the mantle height in Warzone.
Okay.
And it didn't feel as polished, but it allowed people to get over walls they otherwise couldn't. But like I said before, you kind of commit, and now you're like throw yourself over a wall and get shot as you make that transition. So the high mantle is definitely like get up, you can peek, or you can just double tap it and pull yourself over if you're in a hurry. It just adds that extra layer of like I can be a little bit smarter about how I move through the space.
That's a good note that we make all of the equipment, all of the movement, and all of these things for scalability, and we have to kind of check ourselves that everything we put here is going to show up in Warzone.
Well, now you've got this like metaverse of like there's so much
it's a big kind of like I was saying earlier, right?
It's
like
got hard, man. I'm sure.
It's like how do you add different things in and make sure it all stays in check and not mess up this ecosystem.
Well, it feels like I guess for me when I view it, well, what has been the one thing, at least for me, that really separates Call of Duty from a lot of other shooters? It's like it does feel so fluid, but like there's a limit to that too. You don't need to be an amoeba, like it's just like floating through the map. Like you want to be some realism to it, but like how can you add that realism and the ability to, I mean, think about, I don't know, 10 years ago, what you were able to do with just like interacting with the map and what it's come to now. I mean, it's insane how much it's changed.
We had to argue to get sprinting into, I think it was COD 4.
I'm sure.
We didn't have that, and so like just the evolution of
it's come a long ways. I played the very first one, so yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty special, and something else that's a bit special as well is the fact that we have all these content creators behind us. We have an Elgato replay for you guys. It's actually Myth here on Prison Rescue. Just going to check this one out and see exactly what went down here. And Prison Rescue is going to be a really exciting one, of course, because you have to get that objective done. You need to go rescue the prisoner, and carrying them out is going to be huge because that icon does disappear. How did it work with this prisoner, being able to put them in the game, knowing that somebody's going to have to run this prisoner back and extract them, and having that defense to be set up later on and have to completely and utterly change the game, go to that defensive mode? What was the kind of makings behind that?
So it was actually kind of a hard mode to make, and we went through all these different iterations, and we had these problems where we're like, hey, the modes around rescuing these prisoners, people, they weren't able to, right? We're like, hey, do this heroic thing, and rounds just kept ending in elimination because it was so hard. And that's why we added the radar sweep that you get when you get the prisoner, and that's why we took the icon away when you pick the prisoner up. Because we were going through, and we tried with one prisoner, we tried with two right next to each other, we tried all these different iterations, and it took a while before everything kind of clicked. And often when you're making game modes, you don't really know, like some of them pretty quickly, you're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
But this one took a lot of work, a lot of finessing, and then we finally got it to where there is this balance, and we're seeing more hero moments. And that replay we saw, I think of that one, but while we were talking earlier, I saw him actually pick up the prisoner and take it all the way to extract and have that run, and that's what we wanted, that hero run.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about like how crazy.
Não, acho que eles estão querendo deixar só o multiplayer mostrar depois o mobile não
the
vão.
fact that you have to think about like everything within this.
A daí que apareceu, já apareceu já
make a new mode. Like how is some new movement or anything going to affect Warzone? How's it going to affect Ground War? Like.
I think at every game you have.
Parece eu pegar
at the
rango
end
aqui,
of the
rapaz, quando tá
previous one,
aparecendo
you're
no
like,
multiplayer aí,
okay,
rapidinho.
how do we squeeze more blood from the stone?
Yeah, right.
And it's like, but then you start iterating and trying different things, and you do kind of like, all of a sudden it's ballooned, and you're like, oh no, we have to cut stuff. We have too much.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff, Joe, this is a pretty hard question, but just to kind of wrap things up here, I think when you talk about Call of Duty, when you listen to feedback from players and different generations, they always talk about that nostalgic feeling that they get when they get on the game. What is it about Modern Warfare 2 this time around, this title in particular, do you think that is going to bring generations back years to come and say, look, Modern Warfare 2, was my game, and this is why I want to play it year in, year out?
Yeah, nostalgia is a weird thing, and I know from working on past games and people speaking so highly of these different things, and it's kind of where you're at in your world and your friends and things like that. And so for us, we can't really control that, but we try to lay out kind of, I don't know, for the lack of a better term, like you're kind of laying out a nice meal, and you're hoping that everyone enjoys it. And from all the systemic play with all of our equipment and all these different interactive systems, we're just hoping that fans find new and crazy ways to play the game. I don't know. What about you?
You just want it to be fun. I mean, at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
Because nostalgia, you got to probably tune some of it out. Like some stuff, that's tough.
You don't know what's going to become nostalgic, right? You don't know. And I think one of our strengths is that I run into people all the time, and they're like, I'm an S&D player. Yeah. I'm a Warzone player. I'm a Plunder player. Like, I love TDM. I just play that. And so it's interesting that we're fortunate to be able to make all these different offerings so that people can come into our game. They're like, I love big war, vehicular combat. I'm going to ground war, right? And so I think that's an advantage that we have, that people can find their place, the thing they love, bring their friends in, and then years to come, they're like, I remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah, a bunch of different experiences for sure. And I got to say, the fact that we haven't even really scratched the surface yet, we're here at the reveal, we're seeing it for the first time. There's so many questions that we have as well. I want to know what some of the challenges have been for you guys to develop this game, to really get it to the point that it is now, where you are comfortable to show it to the world and reveal it. What some of the hardships been along the way in this ride?
I think the big kind of elephant in the room is just, a lot of this was made from people's homes, You're looking at people's art and work that, people in their home spaces is their living room. Wild. I work out of a shed in my backyard. There's people in their mom's basement.
I bet it's a cool shed, though.
Not really. But the fact that we can get this done through millions of Zoom meetings and millions of kind of keeping everybody up to date and so many different studios, not just ours, all these different Activision studios, to kind of keep on point and make sure that everything is good and great. It's been tricky.
Yeah, I think it's a great segue to, like, we have a really talented team, and we're up here representing that team, whether it's the multiplayer team, the engineering team, the animation team, our team, and they're all specialists in what they do. The fidelity on our view model animations, the guns, everything, the art and the maps, the design. Our geo designers, they make these 6v6 type maps, they make these huge ground war maps, and they put it all together into this massive big map, and everything needs to sing. And so all we can do is thank them and do our best to represent them.
I'm kind of curious, were there any positives for me from a creative standpoint with the fact everyone was in the office and everyone was kind of away? I almost feel like maybe that would lead to some interesting ideas. When everyone's maybe not in a room and maybe one idea kind of takes precedent, everyone's just kind of isolate a little bit more. I just wonder if there was any creative advantages there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were worried that kind of productivity would go down by living at home, but we just found that everyone was so passionate about making this game that they could either play a game or their PCs sitting there and they could make the game better. And they're consistently working way too much, and we're like, hey, calm down, we're good. Let's keep So I think that is a little bit of the fun part.
What I heard in some cases, productivity actually went up, which people didn't expect, and now people are downscaling offices. So I was kind of curious if you just had a lot of, I don't know, superstars kind of show up and pump out some really amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's tricky because we've just now been coming back in and getting kind of that kind of community in the office, and that has been a great way of kind of solidifying the game and getting people back in and feeling you don't get the big hoots and hollers when you're at home, right? So we get people in the office, we get them in the big pit, and we're all playing.
Golden star.
Yeah, you get that feedback loop of I made good stuff, and someone's happy. Yeah.
Look, drawing back the curtain a little bit, because when I think of how to handle a brand new game, a brand new title, bringing all these exciting factors to it, I'm thinking of bare bones, in your shed maybe, with a whiteboard, just writing things on, just brainstorming. What is that process like? Building the blocks, building the foundation behind this brand new game, putting those ideas down on paper. How does it work for your team?
Well, that's a big question.
One aspect we used was we tried to kind of break everything down as simply as possible, and that really is just a one-on-one interaction.
Yeah.
If you imagine how many times a one-on-one interaction happens in multiplayer or in single player, and what does that look like? They could just shoot each other, but it's what is in your loadout, what's in my loadout. It's almost it's like a card game where I use my flash and you use your smoke, and and so we really worked on how many permutations and how that can play out. And so we figured if if we can get that to come
Vai,
and
no que tá
play
precisando
out
cair
in
é
a lot of
VPN,
different
né?
ways, we can make a really deeply replayable game, which should,
Ai,
you know,
ai.
make everyone really happy at the end of the day.
Nah, it seems like everyone's having a blast so far. I mean, this in general, it's got to be pretty special to see just this many content creators here, gassed up, enjoying the game.
I mean, it's been absolutely incredible. Honestly, Jeff, Joe, thank you so much for being here, giving us
guys.
all the insights, letting us nerd out a little bit, ask all the questions that we're dying to know. But I tell you what, it is about time right now to head on over to the main stage to talk a little bit more about COD Mobile. We've got Beef Mummy and Matt Lewis over there. Let's take it over to them and see what they have in store.
All right. Thank you so much, Lottie, and welcome back to the Command Center presented
Será
by
que vão mostrar agora
Xfinity
mais
Rewards.
gameplay do
And
mobile,
it's time
mano?
to finally drop into some epic Warzone mobile gameplay. And joining me here, none other than Matt Lewis. I've been so excited to bring you into this stage. He is the Vice President of Product Management for mobile.
Thank you so much. I am super excited to be here today. We just have some awesome gameplay. We have some cool new surprises for you. So I'm just really looking forward to sharing this moment with you and with just the entire Call of Duty community.
I'm so excited. I'm just ready to get into action. And obviously things are just heating up over here. And it really is impressive what you've been able to pull off here. And watching someone play, it looks great. It feels great. It's as if it's running off a console, to be honest.
It's true.
How did you guys make this from the ground up?
Yeah, it's a great question. So one of our game pillars was what we call relentlessly Warzone. I like to think of it this way. There are a set of emotions and an overall gameplay quality, something that's felt when you play Warzone. And for us, you know, that's something, it's a product of these proprietary combat and movement systems, the Verdansk map, tons of vehicles, and some unique Warzone mechanics, things like the Gulag and in-game loadout drop.
Vai ter dois tipos de tiro lá, se você aperta já mira automática, tiro livre,
in there, and boom, Warzone. So games, they can try to match this recipe and they can spend a decade, you know, iterating and testing and trying this and that, but they're just not able to quite get there. So for us, being on the same technology, it means we don't have to tinker nearly as much. It's just an incredible advantage for us.
So how was the team able to do it and just really pull off everything that you've had here so far?
With tons of coffee.
No wonder why we don't have any more coffee here backstage.
Yeah, exactly. That's the truth. All the coffee in the world is how we were able to do it. No, you know, one of the things that I just love about this project, it's a really great mix of talent and experience. And for us, that concoction was what allowed us to have this kind of great end product. So for us, you know, there are 4 major studios who are working on Warzone Mobile. Activision Shanghai, Beanox, Digital Legends, and Solid State Studios. So our philosophy, it's been to mix together really amazing Call of Duty console and PC developers with some of the best mobile developers in the business. Because that's what we want, you know, an authentic, adrenaline-pumping Warzone.
Passou vergonha ao vivo para mais de
in this made-for-mobile, amazing, super polished mobile experience.
It's been so much fun watching all of these streamers today, and this game looks like a really great time. What is the best way for our viewers at home to guarantee they will be the first to drop in and play Call of Duty Warzone Mobile?
It's a great question. It's a great question. So for us, pre-registration is going to start today. We'll have a little bit more on that later. We're super excited. And if you're on Google Play, if you log on to the Google Play Store right now, you'll be able to start to pre-register. If you're on other platforms, please keep an eye out on all the social channels. We have the social channels live now, so follow, comment, all that kind of good stuff. And we're coming soon on the Apple App Store for pre-order. We have some incredible rewards. I'm going to talk about those maybe in a few minutes, but maybe for now, kick it over, check out some gameplay.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to go and pre-register for myself. I'm just so excited. But that brings an end to our coverage of Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. And honestly, it's been such an amazing, great time here. But obviously, before we do end all of these, we're going to try to see what kind of fun all these streamers are bringing it up over here, because we are taking up on the screen right now. I mean, this ends with us just trying to introduce the game, but obviously every one of us, we want to see the gameplay. We want to see everything that's happening here, and obviously I am with the best person to talk about everything that is happening here on your screen right now.
Oh, man. So when I'm looking at this gameplay right now, for me, one of the things I love about Warzone is that vehicle play. The vehicle play, the movement, and the combat systems all tied together. I'm a thumb player. I can't do the claw myself, so when I see other thumb players, in particular on the vehicles, it's a soft spot for me. I just feel great.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the players right now, even if you're not on mobile, you just see this map and you go back way back 2020, and you're just seeing this map Verdansk. It's just you're basically having a little bit of a throwback from when you used to play this map, and you get to play it here on mobile. And so I feel like it's just so exciting to finally see this map back into life. And really, we're just ready to play. I know, yes, we're in alpha right now, but I played the game yesterday. It feels amazing.
100%. I think you nailed it. I think the team is really, really, really happy with where we are. If we think of the development process, we typically think about 4 stages, and we're in the 2nd stage right now where we're live to some amount of people in our alpha, and we're going to be entering a beta shortly. So for people who are interested in getting their hands on the game, the best way to do that, to pre-register now, follow all of the channels on social. There'll be some great updates there. And we just have loads of improvements, loads of surprises too. We just have some super cool stuff coming in. New features, even some new gameplay. Gunsmith is looking absolutely incredible. I think players who are familiar with it, they're just not going to believe what we have coming out with soon.
And as you can see over here, we definitely have streamers that you're very aware of already just logging in, checking out Warzone Mobile. And it looks and feels amazing. As you can see on your top left screen. We were talking about this beforehand, right? One of the POIs that we really love to talk about is Boneyard, because for me, in my experience in Boneyard, it's great. It has so many chests. You definitely can get a lot of money, but the moment that you drop in, you already know there's a bounty on your head, most likely.
Me too. Boneyard for me is my favorite. I'm a player. I like to equip 2 things. I always like 2 primaries for myself. A shotgun is a must, and I like my shotgun and my sniper. People make fun of me for it, but that's what I love. Boneyard allows me to do both those things. I tend to like to hide out myself in some of those little airplane shells, wait for unsuspecting people to come in, and, you know, sometimes I'm lucky and sometimes I'm not. But that's me, Boneyard all the way. The fun thing for me, too, we've been noticing some people, we've been noticing Bobby talk about this a little bit earlier, is, you know, being able to go back into some of those points of interest that you like, in particular ones that were former MP maps and previous Call of Duties, it's just one of the things that makes Warzone awesome. I know people were talking earlier like, oh my God, Superstore, Superstore, Superstore.
Oh yeah, speaking of Superstore, I mean, I like dropping in there because I feel like I'm going on a shopping spree, grocery shopping, all the weapons that you need on the ground, they're over there. You know, but the thing is, it's in the center of everything. You're in the middle of everything. So if you want to go and just go away into safety, you're going to have such a hard time because you're worrying about people up top. Airport is right there. Boneyard is right there as well. So I feel like for me, like since we're seeing Boneyard right now, it's kind of like a safe little spot because it's right off to the side, but you still get really good loot as well.
Totally, well said. And for me, one of the things I love about Verdansk as a player is there are these mix of different ranges. You have really close quarter, inside combat, things like Superstore. You have some long distance sniper areas. Some people I know like to go on top of dam and try to pick off some enemies. And then you have things that are great for AR, you know, that mix of ranges. So it really is kind of like, you know, choose your own adventure. How do you want to have that kind of gameplay?
Well, talking about the gameplay that we have right now, we definitely want to have a little bit of a look into the different streamers that we have.
Você vê, tá ligado, mano? Os caras jogando, aí dando os slides, parando que eu não sei como é que vai estar isso aí, se vai estar tipo a mesma movimentação do Warzone em si, né? Você tá dando os slides intensos aí tudo, mano. É uma coisa que eu tô querendo ver como é que vai ser a movimentação desse mobile, cara.
But obviously I sneaked into the COD Next event and was finally here,
jogar,
finally able to finally see the alpha, but hey.
Eu digo, esse jogo aí, agora que estiver jogando em 4 dedos, cara, pela tela vai estrunchar. Vai estrunchar, mano. Não é brincadeira não. Quero saber me fazer as movimentações aí. Se for realmente
totally, it's getting to one of those end crunch periods. This is my favorite. The circle started to close, not yet final circle, but it's definitely that time. You got to be a little bit strategic and smart about your choices. There is a penalty if you get a little bit too aggressive.
And now speaking of being aggressive, it's like we were talking about it. it's really a matter of where you drop, because obviously the tier 5 loot zones, the tier 4 loot zones, you'll always have that risk, but obviously the reward is a little bit more high. I mean, especially if you're going to be dropping at the very ends of the map, at the very end sections of it, where yes, you might not have better loot, but you might have a better time not really looking for those kills. But the best thing here is you need to find that middle ground in every BR game that you have. For here, cash is king. You need to buy out, go and find a way to buy your fallen teammates, because we've already talked about it before, or maybe even meet them in the gulag later on. I'm really hoping to see a gulag feature over here. I want to see it.
Me too, and looking at the mini-map here, there were just quite a few red dots around. Something tells me we're going to see the gulag pretty soon.
And now we're talking about the weapons that they have over here. Obviously, it's something that we've seen already. The Fennec, I feel like it's going to be a really good gun. And speaking of, there you go. Gets one. So that's a really good start. So hard up. You can see Bobby Blaze. I mean, it's just like Bobby Blaze has been such a tremendous name here in the mobile scene. And now he needs to get out, because he's going to be in big trouble, especially going out here with no cover whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know. He's living dangerously. I don't know, Bobby. I'm worried for you, man.
Yeah, Bobby and Hawks, they need to find a way to, you know, just get some cover. There you go. Finds one. Gets the kill, and that's going to be really good for them so far. So, again, so far so good, and I'm really looking forward to kind of just talking to the guys later on after this gameplay, right? I feel like they have a lot to say.
Me too. Super curious to hear. Also curious to hear how this interaction here ends. I want to go back to one thing you were saying earlier with the loadouts. One of the things for me that I just absolutely love about Warzone is being able to have this little in-game economy and the strategic choices that happen as a result. Sometimes I want to get my own loadout. Sometimes, no, I'm all about buying a new score streak, leveling up, helping my squad that way. There's a really nice element of strategic choice, and it's ones that we know players in Warzone 1.0 on console and PC, they just absolutely loved. And, you know, in mobile, there's really nothing quite like it. So just can't wait for players to get their hands on that.
Oh, most definitely, because I
Pegou sem
had
querer,
my hands
pegou
on
sem
it
querer de novo a
yesterday.
moto.
I'm not very good at it, and that's why I'm being a shoutcaster. I'm just kidding. But really just playing the game and playing Warzone in general, it feels as if you're playing the same thing on console and PC. And so that's such a huge deal, especially since you're putting it in such a tiny device, tiny but powerful device, and to have the same thing here. Not only that, it has its unique aspects as well. We've already mentioned it before. Mobile, yes, even though you already have it, Warzone is here, it has its unique features.
Big time. And when we started making the game, we listed out all these options. We could make something that was totally not connected. It was its own mobile experience, no connective tissue to Call of Duty console or PC. And on the other end of the spectrum, we could do an exact port, something that felt exactly the same, had, you know, same experience, same economy, same everything else. What we decided in the end was, you know, there are different principles that we want to achieve. We want to make sure on the core game, so here, the moment-to-moment gameplay, it feels just as good as Call of Duty console, because really, for us, that's the best shooter in the world. We want to make sure that we're rendering that properly on mobile. We just think there's nothing better. At the same time, for mobile players, there's certain customizations that are really important. Sometimes on the event side, or what we call internally the live ops side, but also just on the controls. So we want to make sure we're taking those best of both worlds and adding them together into an experience that just feels like nothing else on mobile. We think we're on the right track.
Yeah, speaking on the right track, Noah from YouTube getting these kills already, and it's our first time seeing him right now. So again, where he's at, it's going to be a prime spot, because it's not going to be too crowded, as you can see here, but you can also get really good loot. So that is definitely one thing that you want to have. And now for him exploiting all of these, I can see the movement is very much like Warzone. I feel like for me, that was one of the bigger questions. It's like, what's the movement going to be like? And you can see here, it's good. He's done. He's already kind of felt the game pretty right, to the fact that he can get a lot of these kills. And so how was it like trying to transform into the movement coming in from Warzone, going in here to Warzone Mobile?
That's a great point. We thought movement, that's one of those things. Movement
Ok, eu acho que é sólido, acho que tá jogando no modo solo aí no
It's
caso.
something that we just felt like we don't want to mess with it too much.
Acho
It's
que é
so
sólido isso aí,
special.
mano.
It's what makes Call of Duty Call of Duty. So for us, it's about rendering that in the right kind of way. And again, not totally there, but man, we're pretty happy with where we are at this alpha stage in the development process.
I'm just so excited to see every one of these streamers just battle it out, especially at the very late game where you get to see the circle just kind of closing in. But obviously, we only have a set amount of time, and that brings an end to what we saw when it comes to the gameplay of Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. And it has been really fun, really exciting to see all the streamers playing the game, and we still have way more lined up for you. But with that being said, let's bring in Xavier for a special sideline update.
Yeah, what's going on? WWE Superstar Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed, here with the only, the man, the legend, Myth.
I'm here with Austin Creed.
Woo! Having a good time. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
How you
too,
been?
brother. I've been great.
Good.
I'm having such a good time so far, man. It's crazy.
Well, I love to see you. Now, first things first, we've all been at home for a long time, and now we get to come out to come do an event like this. You get to see all your buds, play Call of Duty with all of them. How does it feel being at this event right now?
Honestly, there's like a 13-year-old little boy like inside of me, the 13-year-old version of me that's like freaking the fuck out. Sorry, I don't know if that's allowed or not, but my bad. I won't do it again. But like, I am losing my cool. Like, I think it's awesome to think about the fact that like I'm at a Call of Duty event and one of this scale for a game that's this big.
Yeah. Well, since you got to play the game with a bunch of people so far, what's your favorite thing?
Ooh, my favorite thing, an individual thing. I think so far what I've come to really like is I feel like they took everything that I loved about Modern Warfare and elevated it to the point where like the visuals, the gunplay, the feel of everything is just really polished and tuned. And that's part of what I really loved about Modern Warfare.
Nice. Now, you're going to get into some Battle Royale later today. Is there anybody here that you are excited to find and take out on the battlefield?
Give me Give me Symphony's Pidgeotto ass. You know what I mean? I want to take him out because you know he's known as the cheater, the Warzone kid, and he's my good friend of mine. So I feel like it'd be legendary if I was able to just smoke him in the new Modern Warfare 2 Warzone. You know?
Well, there we go. We're going to be watching. We're going to see if you get it. All right. Appreciate you guys listening. Back to you, Lottie.
Yeah, that was great. That was so fun.
Oxi, tá fora o microfone dos caras. Ah, os caras mudos, mano. Dá pra botar mesmo.
How hyped up he is. Like,
Terceira pessoa.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is. I feel the exact same way. Like, everybody's in one room here for one reason. It's to play and be excited about the new game, man. You can hear it, like the passion in here. Everybody's loving it, all the new game modes. And we got one on the screen right now. Like, we've had 3P in Call of Duty before, but not quite like this.
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing. And yesterday, just being able to play, seeing your own back as well has been a while, of course. I gotta say, it felt pretty damn good. And when you got used to it as well, Ali, like, start frying. And I know you fry.
I was having an incredible time yesterday. I was on other streamers' setups, so I made sure to change my clan tag to CXT, so everybody knew who was absolutely world starring them on the map. But I will say, the energy in here compared to like a competitive event is just, it's intense in a totally different way. It's intense in the fact that everybody is just so excited and everybody is just having pure fun and bliss loading into a new game, figuring things out. Like, the energy is just on a different level. It really is on a different level.
This looks sick.
It does.
Yeah, what I like about this, Clint, is in 3P, you know, it's 3P, you use the corners, get that advantage. But when you aim in, I was worried about...
It feels really natural. It looks really natural.
Yeah, I was worried about how seamless it would be from like going from 3P to aiming in, but it's perfect. Your centering feels on point. If that's how you play the game, you try to keep your, you know, red dot in the middle, you can play like that, right? So it's really nice, man. It works.
Well, the only time I'd really mess with it too much for me was the
Ficou legalzinho essa parada
the
do
first iteration of it, like that kind of that 3P to first person. That was the first time I really had messed with it much. It felt great. So it's really cool to see them try to double down, create a game out here.
Yeah, and you can also kind of
looks really seamless, like you said.
You can also kind of see how your character moves. Remember we were talking about earlier, Ali, where it was like the character, the movement, like it feels different. It's reimagined. Like when you're jiggle peeking, you see the hips, the head move, everything.
Yeah.
You can really see that in the 3P. That's what you know. When I had that realization, I was playing that earlier. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to play these angles a bit differently. And you know, if you're a little bit more of a tactical player, like to get that information, this is gonna be what you want to play.
And I don't know if this goes for everybody, but this is the first time I played a third person like this, where you actually went into
your sights still, like that you weren't still in third person when you went to ADS. So that was very interesting to transition for me, and I was curious at how it would work with a controller, because I use a controller personally. I feel like mouse and keyboard players are a little bit more accustomed to stuff like that. So I was wondering how that would translate, but like Ant was saying, like it just felt natural, like it felt normal, and it was actually really, really fun to play because your FOV, like you see everything, and like you play and you peek corners like totally different than in your first person mode.
Well, the one thing I really like is like one thing I'll struggle with sometimes, like you get this really cool operator or something, right? Like a battle pass comes out, like this really dope operator, and you don't really get to see him that much, right? It's more about like your gun when you're in the first person.
Yeah.
But with this, like if you get something dope or some of the different emotes you can do, like you want to show off.
You get to see what you look like. I think going back to quickly your point there, Ali, about getting used to kind of the zoom in then into the ADS as well. It does take a second to get used to for sure. How would you handle that though? Because I think, traditional Call of Duty games, straight up first person, you can snap really quickly, right? Your ADS, you can put perks on to make sure that ADS is as fast as possible. This takes a little bit of time. So are you pre-aiming when you're going around? Like, what are you doing to try and kind of combat that?
Well, I'll tell you right off the bat, when we first loaded into it yesterday and got a little bit of a taste, I thought it was a bug. Like, I thought you weren't supposed to be able to ADS. I was like, oh my gosh, no way. Like, oh, they're going to be playing tomorrow and this is going to be happening. But it was meant to happen. It was such a smooth mechanic. And talking about getting used to it, I was pre-aiming quite a bit, but as you got used to it, the hip fire on a lot of these weapons is actually incredibly accurate. So if anything, you're going to find yourself hip firing a lot more than ADSing when you're playing this game mode. Again, leaning towards the mouse and keyboard players who are more used to not actually
your centering is just your centering.
Your centering is incredible.
I'm not gonna lie, I've played tournaments 3P on Call of Duty. We had it back in the day. Like I've grinded 3P Call of Duty. It's actually a lot of fun. We used to have search and destroy tournaments all the time. I think these guys are having a lot of fun with it. I mean, you can see like it's a completely different play style.
Where did you come from? Hit you surprised.
Yeah, he's not happy with that for sure. But it's absolutely incredible. And another thing, you get a different kind of FOV feel for the map as well. You see things in a different kind of scope and bigger picture here. I'm kind of curious to see what things look like in terms of like hanging from ledges from third person and how that kind of works as well.
Like they put in so much work into the game. Like IW, I see you. You want us to see everything. That's kind of what 3P's for. Like, Clint, that's a really good point. Like with your operator, like see that swag.
Well, I miss like it was a simple thing, but back in Blackout,
Duas
like,
horas
the
e meia de
first
evento,
iteration
mano.
of the VR, you had like these emotes that you could do, like a hula hoop or something that would go out to third person. And I kind of miss that going forward because I like to see, if I get this really cool operator, I want to see it more. But like to your point, seeing the character animations and stuff, like they just look like it does look so good. It looks so good.
And not to mention the sneak peeks that we've got from like the vault and from what operators are going to be coming off of beta, like they look incredible. Like they look so freaking good. So to that point, I am very, very excited to see once the game releases the type of operators we're going to get heading for.
Porque os caras estão streamando, estão jogando.
Suntan lotion on his nose, and I just always called it vacation haven. I need that back.
I'm not gonna lie, I might have to whip out my PlayStation again because that.
Se dá 3 horas aqui, eu vou encerrar.
Imagine how damn fine that would look in third person. Yeah, like insane. That skin was
doing the walk and everything. Oh my god! In both hands, like I want to reenact that live in game.
It'd be absolutely incredible. I mean, this is already looking
Já
so much
tudo
fun.
online
I
aí,
remember playing this yesterday. I got in a lobby with Aiden.
Vai ficar acompanhando ele jogando mesmo.
That was
Ele vai
really
ficar
rough.
só
I was
rolando
actually
aí,
playing
vai
on
ficar falando umas
Cloaksy's
besteirinhas mesmo.
station, and I've definitely given him a bad name. I've got to say.
You said that you thought Aiden had a personal vendetta.
I did. I mean, this guy, he really doesn't like me. He really doesn't. But it was so.
He doesn't like Cloaksy. It wasn't you.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably like, who is this? It can't be Cloaksy for sure. But pretty exceptional stuff, and we can see a lot lot of the ADS here.
Look at Tommy's face right now. Like he's just got this. He had this little little smirk and smile on his face. Like you can just tell people are having fun, and that's what this is all about. It's been awesome.
Oh, Tommy was having fun. He was sitting there capturing C, just like jumping up and down with his camera sort of angled down so you can see over the wall. Like he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I played this before. He's having fun, man. Absolutely frying.
It wouldn't be a Nick Cam if his face wasn't in it.
Yeah, like what I walked through all these setups. I saw the cameras were in the right spot. How is it still only half his face? Like he moved it.
He had to have.
That's the classic Nick Merckx. It's the forehead. It's the eyebrows and the forehead going strong always. You probably talked about this a little bit, but just while it's on the screens, I've got to say, the aesthetics of this game look so good, and in terms of third person as well, being able to see it all encapsulated, as well as your, of course, skin and your operator that you're looking at.
All
It's
right,
absolutely
all right.
stunning. And so is the gameplay here from Nick Merckx.
Yeah, it really is.
That
But
was
now,
sweet.
The color I'm loving, but he's got the gunning on point right now. Nick Merckx absolutely forehead cam and all, just frying.
And you saw what he did there,
tearing up the
Clint.
lobby.
He was pushing up and he was turning left, but he had his camera angled behind him.
Yeah.
Saw that, jumped backwards, and absolutely
that was
fried him.
nasty.
So you know Nick, I mean, he's got a history of third person. So this
How are you guys feeling about the angles? We're seeing Nick do it a little bit here and just kind of shimmying and making sure he can see what is behind the corner. How are you feeling about that for third person?
I mean, he's a cut above the rest when it comes to this. Like, he's super used to it. He's won championships on 3P, so he's having a blast. I mean, he's played a lot of Call of Duty as well, so it's like the best.
He is torching this lobby right
he's
now.
bullying them.
But no, I think there is definitely there's a learning curve to it. If you haven't really played it, and yeah, he has a lot of experience with this type of camera, this type of gunplay, and I think you're seeing that absolutely right now. Just to use movement with the crouch of the block, he's a little disappointed. I think it's a nade that takes him out, but he was tearing the lobby apart.
Yeah, it makes it look way too easy, I'm not gonna lie. He makes me feel like
He looks a lot more natural than some of
Se graça esses malucos na rede cama,
Even some of the
filmando a
POVs we
testa.
went to, I think you could tell they've been playing a little bit, but his looks a bit different, without question.
Ooh. It's gonna be a rough one. He's not happy. He's not happy about that. Absolutely insane stuff though. It looks absolutely incredible as well. Yeah, he's frying. He's absolutely frying. That's your teammate. That's your teammate.
That's what I always struggle with when I'm playing something for the first time. Ali, I'm
Yeah,
wondering if
no,
you're this way.
I did that yesterday.
I'm
I was
like,
shooting at
Sei
teammates.
não, mas acho que essa para jogar em terceira pessoa.
All the time. When it's like new maps, like new game, I don't know.
Olá.
I always.
You guys just need to dial it in.
What do you mean? Listen, especially if you're not in
Oi.
college either, and like you don't know the routes on the map yet. Like
Okay.
if you run into something, you don't see that name.
There's
by
no
the head.
excuse for Ali. Clint's like,
Ali, I'm pretty confident if you put the time in,
Yeah, what's up?
you would have had a better professional career than Ant. Like, if,
I don't even think I'd have to put the time in, honestly.
I can't understand. You guys.
I used to always mess with Ant.
Listen, I got
if I
time,
skipped
Clint.
college
I
and I
got
was
time,
grinding,
Clint.
like Ant's in trouble. We're gonna take a look at a replay now. Nick was absolutely popping off in 3P. We know he's got the experience with it. Let's check out the Elgato replay.
Yeah, this guy obviously has been here before, but of course on a new game here, Modern Warfare 2. Looking amazing. I'm pretty sure this part he does snap off. I thought that might have been the part where he died. I was going to say surely not. But just really, really seamless gameplay from Nick Merckx.
Opa, então é isso aí mesmo, rapaziada. Eu vou ficar por aqui. Beleza? Eles vão ficar só aí agora no multiplayer mesmo, porque os caras que estão lá jogando estão streamando. Então vai passar um bom tempo aí só eles jogando. Beleza, então vou encerrar por aqui mesmo, rapaziada.
I mean, it's very natural when you play more, but like at first, I'm not very.
Então vamos ficando por aqui mesmo. Beleza? Eu agradeço que acompanhou aí. Não se esquece, pessoal, deixar aquele joinha aí, se inscreve no canal, dá aquela compartilhada que isso ajuda bastante aqui nós. Beleza? Provavelmente, acho que não sei se o Jota volta hoje, provavelmente só amanhã mesmo. Então fica ligado aí. Falou, até a próxima, hein? Fui!